Yo. It's Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fallback. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Yo, it is I, it is him. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Of course, I'm here with my co-host, my partner in crime, Righteous Reg. What up?
It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. It's Saturday morning, our regular time slots. Thank you guys for joining us on Monday this week. But we are back at your boys' time. It's John Cena Day. And they can't see me. I don't know. What's the slogan here, Phil?
The last time is now.
Yes, yeah.
Can't see him. Well, you won't be able to see him in a week. After tonight, you won't be able to see him unless you
tonight.
unless you pull up to a movie theater or pull up HBO Max. But yeah, we'll get into that in a second. John Cena's final match is tonight. Saturday night's main event. Also got Collision coming on at a special time, so it doesn't have to go head to head with its final match. Probably a smart decision.
I wouldn't do that. I mean, nothing would go head to head with John Cena tonight. I think a lot of people are going to watch it. We're going to get into it, but yeah, smart move on Tony Khan's part there.
Yeah, very smart move. There's a lot of time changes for the AEW stuff over the next few weeks to coincide with Saturday night main event. Also have like holiday stuff coming up. And then we've got World's End at the end of this month at December 27th.
Busy time for the homies in AEW at the end of the year. We're going to get into some AEW talk and some things like that. But what else? What's good with you? What happened this week, Phil?
Not a whole lot. I feel like this is the first week since Thanksgiving where it hasn't been a ton going on every day. So I did get to at least not be as busy every day. That was nice.
That's what's up. Yeah, it feels like the holidays are going by extra fast. The end of the year is going crazy. I'm like, I can't believe, because people are already talking about January stuff, and I'm like, huh? Like, I can't believe how fast this year has kind of gone by, because I've been thinking about my New Year's resolution and trying to get right with my mind and body. I can't believe I'm even talking like this, but yeah, it's a crazy space to exist in, and 2026 is coming up really quick, Phil. I don't know what happened to this year. They say as you get older, the time really goes by fast, and I thought it was a joke, but as I am older, this time is flying by, dude.
Yeah, I feel like every year, once we get to Thanksgiving, the next few weeks of the month just fly by. It's like it's Black Friday, and then next thing I know, it's like the week before Christmas, and then we're out of here. We're into January. Like I was just thinking about the card for Wrestle Kingdom. New Japan just announced that Wrestle Kingdom sold out, and I was like, yeah, Wrestle Kingdom is in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, time is flying, but I think that's probably what I've been thinking of January, because I've been thinking about Wrestle Kingdom being sold out. Like, this is about to be a monumental show. Last show of Tanahashi and Okada on top. To see places like New Japan and CMLL putting up big numbers and doing this, very refreshing in this wrestling climate. And yeah, that's coming up here pretty soon. Seeing Takeshita on the poster and seeing all these things, it's like good for New Japan. I'm glad it's going to be, I'm glad they got the sold out, and I hope that they finish off with the hot show.
Yeah. So far, so good. The build for this show has been pretty good. I know some people are going to get into, where's Takeshita? He's only on AEW. But I like where we're going with it. I think all the matches announced so far sound great. So looking forward to that. Still in the midst of the tag league, so we'll get there. It is.
I've had FOMO probably for 10 years now of flying out to Japan and catching a Wrestle Kingdom. I've had some friends that go before it. I've had some people that been there and said it's an awesome experience. This year, super duper. I'm like, damn, this could have been the year. Seeing Tanahashi's last match would have been it. But it's still on my bucket list, Bill. I still want to get out there.
Tanahashi versus Okada one last time in the Dome. Definitely wish I could go see that. Yeah, very jealous of people that have a ticket to that show. That's probably going to be worth it just for that show. I mean, just for that. Yeah, we also got a new Nas Primo. That has been hyped up. Part of the year that Mass Appeal has been having, dropping all the old head albums. I've only heard New York State of Mind 3 off of the album, and I was listening to it and I was just like, yeah, it's fine, but it kind of felt like I don't know. The Billy Joel beat was a choice. The Billy Joel sample was a choice. It very much sounds like, I don't want to say a relic. It definitely sounds like something from early 90s, and I have to give the whole album a listen. But just from that song alone, I was like, might not be something I sing a lot. It's definitely music for that audience. And yeah, it didn't blow me away, honestly.
We're going to start our first super chat of the day from the homie Joseph Molina because it has to do with this. He says, shout out to the homie Joe. What up, fam? I feel like I'm the only person that liked the new Nas and Premier album. What is it that I'm missing? I listened to the album in full yesterday on a nice little drive because that's how I absorb my albums these days. And because I'm 105 years old.
You got to give it the car test. That's not an old person thing. You got to give it the car test.
I thought it was at this point. I don't know if the youngsters are into that because like everybody's just streaming from their phone. So like nobody really cares. And so, yes, Phil, off the one song, you got the vibe of the album. Unfortunately, like it feels like what I described in a tweet. It feels like a Nas Lost Tapes again. Like it feels like they had 15 Nas and Primo songs from the 90s that have been sitting in a shack waiting to be released. And if we would have got this in 1998, it would have been over with. Like we would have, like life would have been different. The Nas raps are incredible, like throughout. He's still one of the best storytellers in the history of hip hop. Illmatic is the #1 album of all time. Like he's still that guy. Like just the way that he describes simple situations, it's like, oh, this is why this guy is this rapper. This is why who he is. DJ Premier on the thing is it's DJ Premier. It's one of the greatest producers of all time. We've heard all the greats, like of Gangstar, the legendary status. It feels like somebody was doing a DJ Premier impression in like not the best way. Like it's fine. There's some beats on here where I'm like, oh, this is dope. But most of it is like, it feels like stock samples. Like he started from scratch on making beats or something. Like you can hear the DJ Premier energy and emotion and stuff in there. But like some of the samples, like you said with the Billy Joel, are like, okay, it feels dated is the way I'll describe it. And like with what he's done with Mass Appeal, that's why I'm super confused because I've heard Mobb Deep album, I've heard a De La Soul album, I've heard a Big L album, and they all have updated production. They all feel like 2025. They all feel like these are deceased, passed away, rest in peace rappers that sound like now, and it's all because of the production and how it was laid out. So this is what I was super confused about listening to this. I'm like, Nas was executive producing all these albums. He heard everything that Mass Appeal put out this year, and I thought he would do that himself, but it didn't really happen. It feels like we've been waiting 30 years for this album, and 30 years ago it would have really hit. But 2025, with the climate and how other rappers are putting out stuff, and how Clips has an album like this, and they're, you know, like it just what his peers have done something updated, and this didn't feel updated, unfortunately.
I mean, he went on a great run of albums with Hit Boy.
He did it.
Though that sound was different. That sound like what we wanted to see Nas do for most of his career, get with a producer and give him a consistent sound. And so, yeah, I understand, you know, the victory lap of going back and doing an album with Primo. Primo has given him, you know, some of his most noteworthy songs of all time. But yeah, I don't know. I like I said, I have to listen to the whole album. I was not impressed with New York State of Mind 3. And you know, from what some people are saying in the chat, that probably was one of the weakest songs on the album. So we'll see. I'll give it a shot, but yeah, can't say that after hearing New York State of Mind 3, I'm as excited as I initially was. So
the way that you describe what you just said, though, made it okay for me. Like, he has the Hit Boy album, so it's like we know Nas could do that. Like, he rapped on like beats from today with rappers from today, so like we know he could get into that bag. I'm not saying it's all on DJ Premier, but DJ Premier holds a big part of why it works the way it does. And like, never take away from Primo, because I'd take a Primo album right now. I'd rap on that thing. But like, it's just it felt a little something. And then I listened to the Conway album afterwards, and that album's incredible. Like, I was like, if they had those verses on these Conway production, like, we'd be talking about a completely different thing. But they were doing something, so I totally understand it. Appreciate you for that super chat, Joseph, and I'm glad that you like the album.
Yeah, I have to give it a listen. But yeah, a lot of hype went into this album. I think a lot of what we heard around like the mass appeal drops this year was dope. It was dope to see so many older artists continue to get their flowers today. I don't know if you saw it. Well, this is along with something else that was pretty big news yesterday, but Rosenberg and Cypher Sounds, they interviewed Rakim, and I was sitting listening to it, and I was like, yo, I feel like Rakim has been old my entire life, and at one point he was talking about like his favorite thing to do right now is to go to Lowe's, and I was like, bro. And I mean, and he's saying it in the most Rakim way ever. He's like, yo, so I my favorite thing to do is to, you know, go to Lowe's, word up. And it's like,
word up.
It's like, wait a minute, dog.
This is amazing. I need to listen to that. I haven't gotten the opportunity to. It makes me feel extra good and amazing, because I had a really long phone conversation with my mom last Sunday or 2 Sundays ago. And at one point she said, "You are Righteous Reg because of Eric B and Rakim." And I was just like, that's like such a crazy sentence for a mom to say to a son. But she's like, yeah, they like the reason that you developed into who you are is because I was listening to Eric B and Rakim when you were little. And I was like, that's so crazy to hear. And that's so dope to hear. And hip hop has legit raised me. I really need to get into that. Hearing that this is where hip hop is. Rakim's favorite place, one of the greatest hip hop artists of all time, is to go to Lowe's. That is, I really got to get into that. But yeah, the biggest news, I think, out of that, Phil, Ebro in the Morning is no more, man. After what they said, 15 years. Ebro and Rosenberg, too. Is he gone also?
The entire crew, the entire team for that show is gone because the show itself is canceled. The morning show is gone. So yeah,
Laura Styles.
No more Ebro, Rosenberg, and Laura Styles in the morning. They have not announced what's going to replace it, but that just tells you how crazy the media game has gotten in the last 2 to 3 years. It's really been a wild year with like the media rights stuff and just like how spread out a lot of media is. And even when you look at stuff like this Warner Brothers acquisition and how the big fight for it is partially the president of the United States trying to get rid of CNN and stuff around that. And then Ebro's IG Live that he put up yesterday, and he talked about how they've been basically trying to get him out of here for a while because of stuff he's been saying on the air. And it's just a wild time, man. Like the way that media is being muzzled, and people are just like talking about this like it's normal. That's what I thought was crazy as well, when all these people were talking about, look what this means. Warner Brothers acquisition might mean for AEW. And it's like, yo, the president of the United States is trying to take certain people off the air if they criticize him. And the first thing you guys are thinking about is wrestling? Maybe I'm looking at this wrong, but I don't think that's that important when you've got some pretty dangerous stuff happening in the world when it comes to media and, media literacy.
Yeah, knowing what we saw with Jimmy Kimmel earlier this year too, Phil, and like your show could be pulled off the air. Like they'll take you off the air, dog. And knowing they're trying to acquire a brand, a network, a studio to take a channel off the air because of how they talk about a guy. That's not crazy to people. And people are like, hey, what about slams? I'm like, slams? I don't think, I think we're not thinking a little deep enough at this.
We got a fascist regime trying to censor the media we get. And I mean, this has been a thing all the way back to the election of, Elon buying Twitter and trying to control the information we get, trying to control social media. And this feels like more of that. And like I said, people are taking the wrong lesson from this. It's very strange to watch. It was strange when people were talking about not Rosenberg, but Rogan, and they were like, "Well, if Kamala would have just did Rogan's podcast, maybe more people would have voted for him." Like, well, wait a minute, that's the takeaway that she did do this guy's podcast. Like, that's what affected your vote.
That's crazy. If we're landed there, that's what I was thinking the whole time. Like, wait, this came down to podcast. Like, we are far away from the light, from where we need to be, and I want to go back.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff around media at the moment is very concerning, and I think more people should be more concerned about this, and people should be doing more research on what is actually happening, because, like I said, it is very concerning.
Yeah, and I took the Ebro stuff. People are like, yeah, get this old head out of here. And I'm like, I don't think it's about get this old head out of here. It's like, if you listen to his live and what he was saying, and like, there's the Andrew Cuomo stuff that was going on, and they're trying to essentially push stuff onto their show that they're not really trying to rock with. And you can see Ebro's face and how he was talking. He's like, I was forced out of this place. Like, I wasn't ready to go. It wasn't amicable. Like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't like, let's go. Like, it felt like there was some behind the scene stuff going on. And that's what I was really looking at. I'm like, what does this mean, Phil? They might replace Ebro and them with like an AI radio team or something. Like, you just never know at this point.
Yeah, it's crazy. Fuckmaster Flex time slot got moved. Like, just, a lot of the media space, we see it is like all of those people that got laid off at Vibe, and like, it's crazy what's going on. I think the other thing that's concerning to me is just how much stan culture has basically stepped in and has been like, okay, if somebody on this outlet or on this podcast is saying things that I don't personally agree with, then I don't want them to exist. And that's not how these things should work. And I see people doing in wrestling too. Well, I don't like this guy's takes, and I don't agree with them. So, down with this platform and this outlet. No, that's not how these things are supposed to work in media, man. Like, you don't have to agree with everything someone says. You don't have to continue to watch something that you don't like, but to act like, because I don't personally like it, it shouldn't exist. It's crazy. Like, because I saw a lot of Drake fans doing a victory lap. Like, yeah, they got Ebro out of here. Like, this is what we're on, because someone doesn't hype up the artist you love, then they shouldn't be on the air. Like, where are we? What are we doing?
I saw a lot of Lil Uzi fans doing that too. Of like, Uzi up one, Ebro down one. I'm like, yo, you guys don't understand what is going on here. And like, bigger than them being stands and wanting to be upset and stuff, and they don't understand what a guy like Ebro represents there. Like, he brings a certain kind of culture that they could bring us somebody completely different in and change the entire trajectory of what Hot 97 is. Like, we don't know what it is moving forward. And also, like, exactly what you're on, Phil, like, stan culture, some people hate Ebro, so that affected Peter Rosenberg and that affected Laura Styles because you hate these other guys?
Yeah.
Like, what they got to do with it?
I saw people doing the same thing with Rosenberg and trying to bring into it like, oh well, I don't like his takes. I don't like that he works for WWE. So get this guy out of here. And it's like, yeah, but you don't have to agree 100% with what anybody in front of these microphones and on these screens are saying. You have a choice of what it is that you want to watch and continue to engage with. And instead of just saying like it shouldn't exist, hey, just stop engaging it. You don't have to watch these things, but just being like, no, it shouldn't exist, or this person shouldn't have an outlet is just like, I don't really understand that. There are plenty of people in just wrestling alone, let alone hip hop, that I don't like and I disagree with. And I let me roll it back a little bit. I don't like their content.
Yes.
Because when you say, because I think people mix this up quite a bit. It'll turn into, I don't like their takes, I don't like their content, so I don't like them. Well, you don't know them. I don't know the person personally. I just don't like the content they're making. But the person making it might be fine and trying to act like, oh, this person shouldn't have a job because I personally don't like their content. It's kind of wild.
No, that's wild because there's some people that I like that I don't like their content. And I'm sure there's some people that are like that with us. They're probably like, I like those Grapsody guys, but I don't like this or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that happens in this space. But to be like, shut the whole thing, that they should shut Fightful down because we hate Righteous Reg is like, wait, huh? Like, what do the whole squad got to do with me?
Yeah, I just don't get that that frame of thinking. And it seems like there's a lot of that. I saw some of that with like movie critics and how some people were getting mad at like movie critics that didn't have the best thing to say about Wicked, for example. And you know, the Wicked stands because boy, let me tell you, the Ariana Grande and like Wicked shippers, those people are like, they are tapped in, buddy. They are locked in. And so this idea of like, I love this movie, so if you didn't love it too, then boo, why do we even need movie critics? It's like, bro, that isn't the job of people that cover these things or review things to just parrot back to you your own personal opinions. That's not why anybody has an outlet. Like, and just acting like if anybody doesn't share your personal opinion, then they shouldn't have a job. Like I said, that's ridiculous.
I saw that a lot with Taylor Swift fans when her album came out. Like, this, we don't even need music critics. Like, why are people reviewing music at this point? I'm like, no, that's not really what we should take away from this.
No, it does not. We should take away from these things at all. It's okay for you to enjoy these things, and maybe the person writing about them doesn't enjoy these things as much as you do. But why does that ruin it for you? You can still enjoy it.
Yeah. That's how I feel. Like, I don't let reviews affect me at all, and I hope that. I try to say that we've been saying this on Grapsody. Like, we're not like, we're the gospel. Like, if you don't like what we like or you don't hate what we hate, get out of here. Like, I don't at all. You could have a completely different thought mind frame of what you like, because I'm sure you do. We all like different things.
Yeah. We're all not going to agree on things. Like, we all have our personal taste. We all have our personal experiences. And because we have our personal experiences, we connect with things differently. And that's fine. I don't know why people get so wound up about these things.
But yeah, man, I like becoming a podcaster and doing the things that we've been doing the last 4 years. Like, I think of like, oh, what happens if there was a radio show? What happens if we moved into these different outlets, and these different outlets are starting to not be a thing, Phil? Like, it's not like you can't pivot to a lot of things anymore. Like, people used to go from one thing to TV or one thing to this, and like, you can't go to these things. They're eliminating those middle steps to eliminate the news cycle, or I don't really know what's going on with it, but it's not really looking good for media out here.
Yeah, a lot of legacy media is going away, and I don't think that's a good thing. I think that there are more avenues for people to, you know, build their own following and like make things like Substacks or start their own YouTube channels, or like, you know, there's more and more ways to get your voice and your message out to people without having a job at a big outlet. But the problem with that is the money for those things is not there, because you got to do so many things out of your own pocket to do that. And
absolutely,
the jobs where you could get paid, and it's not like there were a ton of jobs to get paid all of this money in media as it is. But yeah, a lot of these things are going away. I just had to have a meeting about what could possibly happen to Bleacher Report if it gets bought, because Bleacher Report is also a part of Warner Brothers. And so I don't know what that means. And that's not like me worried that Bleacher Report is going to go away, but again, there is so much of media that's going away. Like that Vibe thing. Vibe has been an outlet in hip hop for a long time. And when you look at where Sports Illustrated is, and like some of these other outlets, these are outlets that used to be around. It used to be like a goal of people to work at some of these outlets, and now they're going away. And I mean, I get it on in some ways for print media, but I mean, like the MTV News thing, and there's so many of these outlets that are disappearing, and with it, a lot of people's work and a lot of people's aspirations and legacies are going away with them.
Yeah, that's so funny that you bring up Vibe, because watching a little bit of that Puffy doc and knowing the East Coast, West Coast history and how much of a huge role Vibe played, and like the source doesn't exist anymore. Like, the source used to be like the lifeblood of hip hop. Like, people were creating albums to try to get 5 mics and like basing their careers off of this. That's so funny with like the Dave Meltzer and Matt Hardy 5-star stuff. I'm like, hip hop's the same, dog. Like people used to be fighting for them 5 stars in that outlet too. It's like it's changing so much in times and where people's motives are so different now. But losing all those outlets it's rough, man. Rolling Stone, like you said, Vibe, Sports Illustrated, all these things are either they used to be in print and now they're digital. Like somebody that I work with, PWI, we're still putting out magazines, but like how much longer is that gonna go with how these things are shaping up?
Yeah, then you have AI as well. It's just so much that's worrying about like media, and I think people should be more concerned about it than they are. But I think people are so in this mindset. The best and worst thing about the internet is that it's convinced people that this DIY way of life is everything, and that everybody can do anything. And yes, you know, anybody can go and sign up for a YouTube channel and voice their opinion, or start a Medium account or a Substack and put their opinions out there. But there's a reason why media existed, where there were people that, you know, journalism or writing was their expertise, or being on a certain outlet and being a commentator and analyst was their expertise. Yes, everybody can have access to these things, but can everybody do them well? And I think that there's a problem with the access to these things. And people confuse access and availability with expertise. And those are not the same thing. I think everybody too many people think they're experts in everything. You have people like, you know, making movie posters and trailers before the studio does, and they'll be like, well, I did it better. And it's like, yeah, well, you know, somebody's getting paid to do that. Like,
that's my favorite thing when they talk about, like, it happens a lot in like video games too, with like, I'll see wrestling creator wrestler guys being like, I'm better, they should hire me at 2K because I do this a lot better. I'm like, the same thing that you're saying, Phil. Like, there's guys that are getting paid for this. There's people that are getting paid for this. Like, it's a different level of life. It's a different kind of space to exist in. But yeah, and if everybody is on Substack, if everybody's doing their own thing, how do you weed through, Phil? Like you're saying, if everybody's doing it, how do I find the experts? If I'm not going to read through 100 different things to get to the gym. You know what I mean?
I don't know the answer to that, because I'm telling you, the Denzel clip, it like broke my brain, because it is so true. You don't have to be good anymore. You just have to have a following. And when you have things like people that are like streamers and some of these other people that just have big followings, I mean, the number one media guy in the world in hip hop, we're talking about like Vibe and some of these other outlets going away. The number one guy before Kai Cenat started doing all these big numbers and streams is Academics. And when you look at some of the stuff Academics is doing, it's just because he has a following. Does that mean that he is better at his job than an Elliot or some of these other people that have been around the space doing things for longest? No. But see, this is again the issue with the political landscape we're in with media as well, because I think it's very intentionally being done. This idea of, well, why do you have to listen to these people that tell you a diploma or certain other things is a way to gatekeep? No, you should be able to go and cover these things too. And you see that with what the White House is doing, allowing a lot of some of these podcasters and some of these smaller outlets to come in and cover press briefings and stuff. No, that used to be unheard of.
Yeah, this is it's a safe space to exist in because you're 100% on the money. Academic is like, I'm number one in hip hop. I'm better than Elliot. I'm better than Sway. I'm better than Rob Markman. I'm better than anybody creating content out there. And it's all because he has a good big following, and his followers will come and attack your ass. But that's not what it is. It's not like what qualifies him, like sitting and analyzing. That's not the same as like the work that Elliot was on Double XL and has done for the last 30 plus years. Like, it's a different level of beast, but none of that matters. Kai Cenat is the number one hip hop guy. And why?
And that's what I'm saying. It's just like, you just got to have a following, and people will turn having a following into, like I said, there's a difference between being popular and being knowledgeable. And not everybody that's popular is knowledgeable. That's just what it is. I don't think I'm the most knowledgeable person in the world. I'm just on a podcast. And I think people get these things confused as, hey, well, I like this person more, so they're smarter. No, that ain't what that means. That's the thing I keep thinking when people do this back and forth with Meltzer. I don't always agree with Meltzer's opinions. And he gets certain things wrong. Of course, all of his reports are not right. I don't always agree with his ratings either, but he has a wealth of wrestling knowledge as a historian that I simply don't have. So I'm not in the same category as him. The thing that puts him above other people in our space is expertise. And I think people have to consider that. Like, I saw someone saying, who is Dave Meltzer to be even arguing with Matt Hardy? He's arguing with a guy that does this for a living. No, Meltzer is not a wrestler. He's not a worker, but he's been around this space for longer than some of the people working in it.
He's been around for in this space longer than people have been alive that work in it. Like, he is the originator, essentially. Like, we're all running off of what Dave Meltzer created. And so the shift from that has been funny, of people being like, who cares about Meltzer stuff? Like, who is he to do this? And like, he has all the knowledge, man. He is the historian. Like, you could talk about anything in wrestling history and he's going to know at least something about it. And that's totally different than what we do, coming on and reviewing shows and stuff like that. So them trying to take away what he does, and his legacy is always so funny, because it's always younger people that don't really know.
Well, and then the other funny thing about it is you have people that are like, why do 5-star matches matter? And why are y'all so beholden to these things? Because the wrestlers care about them. And every time there's a wrestler that pops up and goes, these things don't matter. Hey, but some of your peers don't feel that way. Some of your peers absolutely care about 5-star matches. The reason why 5-star matches are what they are and people are so beholden to them is because for a lot of time, people go to these things and they do matter. You wouldn't be talking about them and why they should matter if they didn't.
Exactly. And the wrestlers, Phil, they don't understand how much these wrestlers care about this. Like, there are ones out online like, who cares about this? And I don't care about this. There are 100%. Some of your favorite wrestlers are just like you on Friday mornings, seeing what their rating was for this match. Now, that's what I was talking about this week with that. I'm like, we can't always try to place this on Meltzer, and because Matt Hardy's like, the young kids are going for 5-star matches for Meltzer. I'm like, these young wrestlers are not wrestling for Meltzer, you guys. I talk to young wrestlers all the time. Like my life is talking to young wrestlers, and 0% of the time has anyone ever been like, I wonder what Meltzer thought. They never, that's not a thing in their thing. I'm like, Phil, these young wrestlers are wrestling for gifts. These young wrestlers go to their phone immediately after their matches to see what social media has to say. None of them are like, I wonder what Meltzer thought of their match. One, because Meltzer don't even be watching most of the independent wrestler and wrestlers that you think are wrestling for Meltzer. That's just not how these things work these days. These young people are fighting for what other young people think. And what Matt Hardy thinks, that's the funny part about it. He's like, well, they're doing these 5-star matches to impress Meltzer. No, they're doing these 5-star matches to impress you, brother.
But I still feel like that's part of internet culture because, like you said, there are indie wrestlers that don't care about what Meltzer says, and they care about like the virality of some of these memes and stuff. But at the same time, a big part of internet culture cares about Dave's ratings.
Yep, a huge
and
part.
So I don't really understand how people can be like, oh, this thing doesn't matter, but it does until it doesn't. I don't know, man. It's wild, but like, yeah, there's people in this space like the Bill Apters and like the Greenbergs, and these are guys that are like celebrated writers in this space. And I just think we've gotten to this place where with legacy media and new media, quote unquote, where people got to turn it into this against that, and it doesn't have to be that.
I don't want to be this against that because like we don't have enough yet. Like everybody's gonna beat us on years if we talk about this against that, because they're trying to pit Meltzer against people, and he's been doing this for 50 years. Like, how do you compete with somebody who has 50 years worth of knowledge?
I just think you go to people for different things. It's just like
exactly
for like my sports analyst habits. Like I'll listen to Bomani for a lot of things that are his opinion because I think that he's very well spoken and he's knowledgeable about things. But he has blind spots, just like everybody has blind spots. And I think like you shouldn't, only base all of your coverage on anything off of just one voice. It should be like multiple sources. But does anything, if you research anything, if you just go, okay, well, I'm just going to get all my information from here and not, look at multiple different sources, then you're missing out.
Absolutely. I treat my hip hop like that. I feel like I always think about like when they're mad at the cocaine rappers, as they say, like Pusha T and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, if I want to listen to drug dealer raps, I go to Pusha T for that. If I want to listen to introspective raps, I go to Ho for that. If I want to, like, I like having a variety. I like being able to bounce. I don't want to just go to one. I can't just listen to one rapper in my life because that doesn't tell enough stories. That doesn't move enough spaces for that. I like to bounce around. It's a really good point that you brought up there.
Yeah. I do think though in the space, there are media that has given us reason to want to tune them out.
Absolutely.
And I think you see that with somebody like Stephen A. Smith and how he talks about things. Like I saw a clip from him the other day and he was talking about how boring Oklahoma City's dominance is. And it's just like, well, wait a minute. Like we should be celebrating how great this team is instead of going, well, I can't wait for them to lose so that there's an actual story or a narrative for me to latch on. Them winning is a boring story. It doesn't have to be a boring story. The story is how good they are. Like we haven't seen a basketball team jump out the gate, win a championship, and come back the next year in quite a while and look this dominant. And that in itself is a story. But because it's not a big market, because it's not in LA or New York, and it's not, one of the people in the league, one of the big stars that they want to cover, like a LeBron or somebody else, then I don't want to talk about that. And I think that kind of stuff makes people tune out because it isn't about the sport. It's about, what is popular, what's going to get clicks. And I see that a lot in general with other things. Sometimes I look at things, and I do this a lot less than I used to because I listen to a lot less podcasts than I used to about wrestling. But there's a lot of stuff that I listen to, and I'm like, well, you don't believe that. You're just saying that for the sake of saying that on this podcast. so that you could be the first person to say it, or you can be a contrarian voice in this, and you can be different, but you don't really believe that, and or somebody trying to be overly positive about something that I know they don't like that much. It's just like, but if I can listen to it and feel that it seems ingenuine, then your listeners aren't going to want to keep listening to that.
That's a fact. That is, the wrestling space is so funny. You just described how I feel about some of the grifters of like continuously shitting on AEW. The Vince Russos and Bischoffs of the world is like, they find the worst things, but they're like, if you celebrated another company on the come up that a bunch of other wrestlers could have a good career in, like, it'd be way better than this grifting thing that you're doing. But there's no market in celebrating. There's way more bigger market in them grifting every podcast.
Yeah, if people didn't understand, by the way, there was like whatever 2 weeks ago when I was saying all of that Dominic Mysterio stuff. Part of the reason I didn't want to come on here and do this rant and bash Dom is because I feel like there's so much of that, of people just getting on and just being very negative because they know that that'll get clicks. And I don't have any interest in coming on here every week and ranting and raving about things that I don't like, or discourse that I don't agree with, because why? Like, there's enough people out there doing that. And it's so funny. I was just looking at a clip of Maven and Stevie Richards. They were on Renee Dupree's podcast, and they were talking about that, how negativity gets clicks, and it'll be so many people like, hey, why do you guys do this? Why do like the JD from New York's, or like Eric Bischoff's, or some of these other people make so much negative content? Because people keep watching it and it gets a ton of views. That's why. A lot of these people that are making negative content are making a lot of money. That's why.
Absolutely. Yeah. If they just stopped, if everybody stopped watching, if everybody stopped retweeting and trying to dunk on them and nobody cared, that would be the thing. But the point is, everybody's retweeting, everybody's talking about it, everybody's still propping them up. Every time Eric Bischoff says something dumb, everybody's like, let's get him. And it's like, that's what he wants, you guys. That's what these people want.
I don't even think it's just the people that are dunking on it. I think a lot of people like negativity.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, definitely with this day and age.
That's just what it is. A lot of people like to listen to somebody rant and rave about something they don't like. Which is also funny because the way we started this and how people are like, oh, I don't like that this person is negative, they shouldn't have an outlet. Well, there's somebody watching it. So
And that's so funny. That's the thing that I fought with the most when we began this, is like people would come on the chat and be like, I can't wait to hear Reg's rant this week. And I'm like, I don't want to become rant guy. Like, no. I do not at all. Like, I don't want to be in here every Saturday screaming and my veins showing and my neck and forehead. Like, I don't want to be that guy. I want to come on and have fun with my friends. And so I immediately have to be like, let me change how I go about this. Because if I would have been rant guy for 4 years, Phil, I don't know who I would be at this point.
I was just saying to somebody in our group chat, like, if I ever become the person that is on a podcast every week yelling about something or telling you how much I hate something, it's time for me to wrap it up. Because I'm not enjoying this anymore. I'm not enjoying what I'm covering. It's time. It's time to close everything down. It's time to cut the mics off. It's enough.
If you're ranting every single week, Phil, like, I understand the people that are like, to watch something else. Like, seriously, dog, because like it's not working for you. It's like you're bad. You're doing it's not good for your mentals. It's not good for your energy. Like, just do something else.
Yeah, it's time. And like, there are people that I really like that are doing that. And I mean, it just ain't for me personally. But it is what it is. Yeah, send us in your super chats. That is the best way to get your chats read on this podcast. You could also send us a humper chat where we get a little bit more of the cut. It's humperchats.com/Fightful.
Yeah, thanks for sending in your super and humper chats before this isn't a thing anymore, before they come and take our show, as Paul Mooney once said. Like, this could be it. Like, they could pull Phil and I off there. You guys are talking too crazy. Get those guys off of Fightful. They're done here. Nah, man, we're just trying to protect our peace.
We're 4 years to do that.
Honestly, we are writers and people who talk and do things for a living. So that's why it's such an interest for us. We're in media.
Yes.
Let's get into some of these super chats. The homie Deontay Soignier with the various generous super chat. Appreciate you, Deontay. Says, fine speech. Gonna enjoy some Saturday night's main event and Collision tonight. Cena goes on last, so Credit Boy can go first. Tired of Hunter, SMH. All love, as always, guys. C2 Graps and Cena's last match. We excited today. Y'all be blessed out there.
Yeah. We'll get into Saturday night main event preview in a minute. Appreciate you, Deontay.
My homie Deontay, I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday out there. Hope the brunch is killing. And yeah, you're eating today. I mean, we've been eating for a few weeks with packed wrestling weekends, but this one's gonna be a good one. Seeing some early AEW, going right into Cena after that should be really fun. Appreciate the Deontay. The homie Bragov says, member for 30 months now. Appreciate you, Bragov. Happy Grapsody. Great articles, Phil. Fun read.
Yeah, appreciate you. I sometimes think that I have been very lucky to cover a lot of stuff happening in wrestling. And if you would have told me, 15 years ago that I would be covering John Cena's retirement, I would have been very confused by that. And just the way that I got a chance to cover it in a very honest way, that's what I would prefer to do. I've never been a big Cena guy. And I do think from the perspective that I wrote the article on, his relationship with fandom is part of what molded him into an all-time great. I won't get into the GOAT conversation that people are having. Is he the best ever? Not personally my GOAT, but I do think that for everything that he's done for this business, his contributions to the business, he should be celebrated. And I mean, the parallel I made at the end of the article, which I think I made it here as well, is he's very similar to Kobe and to me in the sense that Kobe was an all-time great, but I spent most of my career not liking this guy or rooting against him. And so when he was finished with basketball, I was like, well, wait a minute. What do you mean he's finished with basketball? I've watched this guy my entire year, and my entire time watching basketball. I've gotten a chance to boo this guy my entire time watching basketball. What do you mean he's not going to play anymore? Get back here. I want to keep booing you.
Yeah, it's been such an interesting career of John Cena and the fans, like you said. Like, if you guys watch ECW One Night Stand 2006, that reaction to John Cena, that's how us hardcores felt about John Cena. Like, we hated this guy. Like, he was the antithesis of what our favorite people represented, because he was the golden boy. He was given all the glory. He was put in front, and he was like, he was beating guys up. Like, the Super Cena thing had to become a thing. So it was a lot to go through. But I think, like you said, his later career, and I always say becoming PWG Cena and wrestling Kevin Owens and becoming that guy, I think he changed a lot of how we looked at him. And when I got older and started analyzing how his career and how he did, I was like, okay, I understand what happened and I understand who he is. I think there is a conversation to be had about if John Cena is the greatest WWE specific superstar of all time, but the greatest pro wrestler of all time. Like, call your mom and talk to her, because you're tripping out here for sure. My favorite thing before we go on get off of Phil and his Bleacher Report things, my favorite thing about Phil, my friend working at Bleacher Report, is when one of those little top 10 lists or something comes out that you have nothing to do with, and it's like Bleacher Report's top 10 wrestlers of the year or whatever, and then people are like, Phil, how could you? I can't believe you would be a part of this Bleacher Report thing. What did you do here? And you have you're like so far away from these lists. It makes me laugh every time, though.
I had nothing to do with it. Like, there are certain things that come out where I know the person that wrote it, and I'm like, oh, I don't agree with that, but that's his opinion. But yeah, man, one of the greatest things about being at Bleacher Report, like I said, is being able to cover things while it's happening. Getting to cover Punk's return to wrestling, getting to cover something like this, like John Cena's retirement. And then the other article I did this week was on Obafemi, and like, how he's probably one of the most anticipated NXT call-ups in like the past 5 years. And I mean, that might sound like a stretch, but I honestly think that he is. Like, the way that people talk about him, the excitement around him, it's so fascinating, and getting to write about it while it's happening is really one of the greatest things about being a columnist in this space. You can get into whether I like everything I cover or want to cover WWE as much as I do, but I think being able to cover current events as they're happening has been one of my favorite things about being a writer.
Yeah, that getting to, because that's kind of the feeling I get with my column in PWI Righteous Wrap Up, because Kevin kind of opens it up. He's like, you can kind of write about whatever you want, but I kind of try to keep it in the same Righteous Reg style box. And that just it's so cool to be able to like express what I have in writing form, because like I express myself every week on all my podcasts, but to able to break it down and be like, this is forever. That's what the media thing kind of fucks up, like what you were describing, Phil. Some people have these articles, some people have their work that's gone. It existed in one place and you'll never see it again. And like, that means so much to people, man. And this media is just being erased and everything's be going to streaming. And it's like, it's grim out here.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's worrying. I don't know what is going to be the landscape of media, say, in the next 5 years. It's so tough to predict that at the moment.
I think we're going to be like writing articles. It's going to be like when Prohibition hit, like for like media literacy, like we're going to be writing articles on the side and they're going to be like, hey, let me get one of them articles. Like, let me get some real knowledge real quick, because it's about to be fucked up.
Bro.
You got some of them articles? You got some articles? Because it's all going to be AI, man. It's fucked up. It's fucked up out here. The homie Tyrone Kid says, where's your Cena merch for tonight, Reg? Don't disappoint.
Yeah, you've got a watch along coming out tonight. Yeah, you're going to be on Denise's channel watching Saturday Night Main Event. At least it's a good card.
Listen, Phil, somebody in the WWE universe up there up high knew I was watching the show. They put Javon Evans and Leon Slater on here. Like, they're like, look, we got you, bro. Against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, like, I'm in. Like, I would probably watch that match if I wasn't doing this watch along. So I feel pretty okay about it.
Yeah, Bay Area native will be on the card. Wrestling, very exciting up and comer. So Ruka.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it's a strong card.
Before we move forward, let's talk a little bit about Bailey. What's Bailey's thing called? Lodestone?
I think that's
Lodestone. Yeah. So Bailey has started this thing. If you guys aren't caught up, she put out some feelers to the social media of like, essentially every woman wrestler out there, hit me up if you want to level up your status, if you want to get down in a different way of light. And so this week, she had all the people there and people were kind of upset because she was doing like training drills and it kind of looked like the PC type thing. And so people are just like, this is just a vehicle to get all these women to the Fed. And so it really was amped up this week, Philip Lindsey, when your homegirl Stephanie McMahon was like, great job, Bailey. This is awesome. I'm so happy that you got all these women together and the future is looking bright. And people did not like that, Phil, because I don't think that's what Bailey's doing. I think she's just representing for women's wrestling in general, like she always does. But it could look a type of way if you're like, well, Stephanie McMahon's commenting on that. Where's that going to lead to?
I think people have to stop trying to turn everything into a tribalist thing. I think people got to really chill out with that. Like, people trying to turn this into this clandestine attempt to, scout women to come to WWE. Like, that didn't feel like that's what this was. I mean, if you have been following any kind of women's wrestling for a long time, there's been a conversation about women being undertrained. That's been going on for over a decade.
Absolutely.
Because there isn't something like the dojo system for stardom. And a lot of times when you have women that try out and go to WWE and some of these places, some of them are undertrained for what the company is asking them to do. Tori Wilson talked about that and how when she started wrestling, it was like, you learn to move once or twice and then you're asked to go straight out there and have a match and do it. And then unfortunately, everybody's going to criticize you after you do it wrong, but you weren't properly trained to do it. And yeah, there are more women that are indie wrestlers that have training, but I don't think that there is the access to training that some men have that you would think. And you have all of these controversies as well around some of these schools and women and like sexual assault and like some of the stories that came out of speaking out. You need some more things like this, like a wrestling seminar or a wrestling school ran by women. And so I think what Bailey is attempting to do is incredible. Hats off to her. I think people should be giving her flowers for this instead of trying to turn it into this big conspiracy of, oh, well, she's just trying to get people to go to the Fed. We could just look at this as a good thing for women's wrestling, and you see the amount of women that were there, indie wrestlers, seeing Izzy in the same ring with Bailey, like all of this stuff is cool. Like, why are we turning this into a negative?
I think it goes even a little bit deeper with what Tori Wilson was saying, Phil, because now we see wrestlers every single move, every single match. Some people, like you were saying, they're asked to do a lot more than they are trained for. Because I see they're like, this person signed with the company 3 months ago, and then they're on Evolve. They're on TV after 3 months, and it's like, yo, people used to go a year and a half without being seen in front of a big crowd like this. Now you're on 2B, now you're on LFG, now you're on all these programs in front of people's eyes from day one. So it's like they're being thrown into the fire, and if anybody could get a leg up before getting there, I think it's needed. And if women could have an outlet with Bailey and some kind of, because it's not just going to be a feeder system to WWE, it's going to be a feeder system to all kinds of wrestling companies. If there's another way that women can get into this, then we totally need it, because there's not enough.
Yeah, I think we need more situations like this where there's somebody with Bailey's name recognition vouching for women to be properly trained and giving women an avenue, even if this does turn out, WWE is using this as a way to scout people. If this gets somebody like Nikki Blackheart a contract, then awesome, because she deserves a contract. Like trying to turn it into like, oh, well, she's just trying to get wrestlers over here. Like, if this gets more women signed and gets more women jobs, then great, right? I mean, if it turns into like other companies are using this to scout, like, TNA or AEW, and they end up signing some of these women, also great. Like, because we should want these women that are talented to have jobs.
And I'm thinking about how amazing that must be for a lot of these women. Because, Phil, how many young women's wrestlers do we hear say, oh yeah, I'm here because of Sasha and Bailey, and now you get to go train with Bailey? Like you're saying, seeing Izzy after so long, after being an inaugural part of what made Bailey, being in the ring with her, like, if you're upset at this, I'm like, you got to go outside, you got to eat a Snickers. Like, there's something that, like, this is cool, man. Like, this is what wrestling is all about, and we should encourage this, and more of this should happen. It shouldn't be about what you think the destination is going to be. It should be, damn, women's wrestling is cool, and they're getting another cool outlet to do stuff.
This is a woman that was a part of one of the most influential matches of the past decade, doing a wrestling seminar with a bunch of women that she inspired. Like, that's awesome. Yeah. I'm sorry that I don't see it in this negative way that some people do. I think that that's awesome. And it's just a seminar. People trying to turn it into like, oh, well, you got to sign something to go in there, and it's just like the Fed just herding all these women like cattle. It's like, no, it's a seminar. Like, let's chill out, guys. It's fine. And like, I just think people have got to calm down. Everything doesn't have to be discourse. Everything doesn't have to be a conspiracy. I think what Bailey's doing is great. Yeah, of course, Stephanie McMahon is going to tweet about it because it got a lot of media attention. John Cena was there, so there are a lot of eyes on it. And so it turned into her going, yeah, I support women's wrestling too, because she's been doing that for the past, almost 20 years. And I don't even, I don't want to turn it into, oh, well, she's just glomming on to something, but that's what is gonna happen in some of these big companies and big names, even if they didn't have anything to do with it. Oh, what's happening over there? People are talking about that. Let me tweet something too. That's what happens. I don't think it's because she also was behind the scenes, like, ha ha ha, my plan is working. Like, no, I just think, she saw something that everybody else, other women were talking about, and she tried to tweet about it too. I don't think it was that deep. To me,
Bailey was just on her podcast too, wasn't she? Like, there's some connections here. It's not just out of the blue.
Yeah. And to me, because when we talked about it privately, I kind of feel like this is Bailey doing something on her own. Because she could have easily went down to the performance center and held some classes, and I bet you they would have let her do that. But it felt like her trying to take her name and doing something on her own that could end up turning into her legacy outside of this company. The fact that she has started already an IG account for it, and she's already talking about making this possibly an annual thing. No, this feels like Bailey is like, this is something I personally believe in, and so I want to take the initiative to make sure something like this exists.
Yep. And we've seen everything we've seen of Bailey, like, out of WWE and how much fun she has. Like, when she was at the Athena wrestling shows, I think she sees moments like this of, like, women are banding together. Women are doing stuff that's amazing on a different level than WWE. And I want to be a part of it. I think she sees stuff that, I know people are mad at the dungeon too, but she's seeing what Natty's doing, Natty and TJ are doing, and independent wrestlers are pulling up. And I think she wants to have her place in it.
Absolutely. And I know people are talking about, like, her contract coming up potentially, and what does this mean? Is she going to stay put? And I don't think that there's a real correlation. I think it's, like I said, this is just something she's passionate about, and this is something she wanted to do on her own.
Yeah. I don't like people just putting it on WWE. I'm like, Bailey loves women's wrestling, dude. She don't care what company she's doing it for, you guys. So
yeah, that's at least how I read it. And just some of the stuff she's saying in interviews, it just feels like what is going to be my lasting impact on wrestling outside of Bailey the wrestler, outside of my WWE career. That's what this seems like to me, because you can have, like, the moments over there, the WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, and all this other stuff, like longest reigning SmackDown Women's Championship of all time. But, like, what do I personally believe in, and how do I want to leave my mark on wrestling? That's how this felt to me.
Yeah, some wrestlers are about the business and what's going to happen after them, not just about their accomplishment. And that's 100% what Bailey's on. Like Phil said, if you listen to any of her interviews, anything she's done in the last year or so, that's all she cares about. She's like, well, what's going to happen when I'm done here? Like, it's not about these matches and this shit now. It's like, how can I help? How can I move this forward? And what can I do in this part? Shout out to Bailey. She's amazing. She's a Bay Area GOAT, one of the greatest of all time, and keeps getting better. It's unbelievable. Let's get to some of the super chats and move forward. The homie T-Rav says, I like Nas' album, but I don't think it's better than the Ransom or Rock Marcy albums with Primo. Yeah, I thought the production on both those albums were better than what was presented here. So again, it was kind of a head scratcher. Maybe the pressure was on. I know Primo does the thing famously where he doesn't make a beat till you're there. So, like, he's in the studio with you making the beat. I don't know if that's changed. I don't know, like, with people not being in the studios together anymore, what part that played in it, but it's just all super interesting.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, T-Rap. The homie B Ninja says, went to see Brandy and Monica this past weekend in Dallas. Those two still got it, and Kelly Rowland and Keisha Cole delivered. God bless my childhood. You saw 4 beautiful women. Kelly Rowland, like, when I see Kelly Rowland, Phil, I'm just like, God created this in like a factory, or like who, where did this person come from? She is so gosh darn fine. What a person, what a human. Every time I see Monica, I want to say Monica, like the homegirl Tiny be saying. So shout out to you going to see that show.
Gonica, man. The Gonica memes are hilarious. Yeah, you was out in that crowd doing your 2-step singing the J. Cole, singing the Keisha Cole records. Never knew what I was missing. You was out there in that, like.
Honestly, I need to see where they at on the tour if this came to Oakland yet, because I'm sure the aunties were outside at that show, brother. It probably was Auntie City out there, brother. I need to check that out. Probably look like the Essence Fest at all these shows.
Probably was a nice atmosphere out there, man.
I'd say
Hope
so.
you had a good time, B Ninja.
Mhm. Cocoa butter running all through there. Everybody's sitting down. Nobody's standing up.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
that, B Ninja.
Shea butter vibes, bro.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. The homie Matt Reichel says it's a Grapsado day, chilling with the homies today. We got who we got in the NBA Cup tonight: Knicks versus Magics and Thunder versus Spurs. Reg will be streaming later on with Denise and Saturday Night's main event. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see Spurs beating the Thunder. Of course, I think Thunder are going to move forward. I laughed very hard at the Lakers losing to Spurs the other night, and LeBron dunking all hard on homeboy and yelling on in his face, and I'm like, but y'all losing though, and then they end up losing that game. I was like, yeah, well. Sometimes you guys show out, I guess. But yeah, I think Thunder are gonna win. Knicks, Magic have looked pretty good, but I'm picking Knicks, probably Knicks Thunder finals.
Yeah, I'm liking the basketball that the Knicks have been playing recently. I'm going with that, and yeah, Phil, I think this is it. They're saying about LeBron possibly ? So you gotta get a couple of more posters in, right, before it's all over with, even if your team's losing.
Hey man, listen, get your dunks off, get your moments in. You know, sometimes it be like that, I guess, man. You gotta get the highlights in.
What are they gonna talk about when he's done? Well, he's gonna transition into coaching or something else, and they're still gonna talk about him.
He's probably gonna be an owner, if I had to guess. He's gonna try to be owner.
Mm-hmm. And he'll still be in the conversations every single day with that.
They'll figure out something else to talk about. The transition to the next guy is going to be interesting, though.
That's a fact. Who is the next guy? What's going to happen? I watched Curry's back. The Warriors lost last night, but he looked good. He was hitting, but like, you guys got to get it together, playing some not that great basketball out there.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Matt. Devil Kazuya says, let Super Cena win tonight. Oba better beat Cody too.
Yeah, I really think Cena's going to win tonight, guys.
I've heard your reasoning for it, and I've heard a few other people's reasoning for it, and I think I'm in. I'm like, it doesn't. I've been convinced that it doesn't make sense for Gunther to win at this point. Like 5 people have convinced me, like, that's not even. It makes sense for Cena to have his hand raised at the end of this. I was like, okay, I think I might be in.
Yeah, Trigger X, I have to begrudgingly say that Detroit looks really good. I don't necessarily like to say that. I don't like that basketball team. Historically, I don't like that basketball team, but they're playing really good. Shout out to Kay Cunningham. He looks really good, which is not a shock. I knew that year when he was #1 in that draft that kid was going to be special, and he looks really good. So,
damn, y'all may Phil give it up to the Pistons today. It's crazy outside.
Listen, man, I'll give people credit where it's due when they are good. I'm not going to root for the Detroit Pistons ever, but they're playing good basketball. Yeah.
Appreciate that, Devil. The homie Meet Normus, what we're talking about earlier with 5-star rating, says NFL, NBA players get heated over Madden 2K ratings. Absolutely, dog. They talk about it in their podcast. Yeah. They're on social media posting it. Like, this is the thing. Even video game numbers mean something to these people.
Yeah, because all of these people have egos, man. It's not that shocking.
Bunch of testosterone running through. Just that's what it is. Low T. They need to get higher T. Appreciate that, me Nomers. Grapple Geekery says, whoops, joining late, but here with love for the babes of Wrath and Speedball versus Kyle. Also here representing the Don Callis Appreciation Society. My guy Grapple Geekery, he's riding hard for Don Callis, and I'm like, I like Phil, look, there's so many Don Callis guys that are incredible. Like, some of the best wrestlers in the world, legit, are in the Don Callis family. But Don Callis got to chill out. Like, he can't be in every segment. He talks in every segment. Then he'll get a backstage segment talking to, and it's like, you got to relax, brother.
Yeah, if you like Don Callis, You're getting a lot of them. You're gonna see a lot of them on a weekly basis. Yeah, it's starting to get to that point where it's getting over the balance. It's getting a little bit too much, but this is where we're at. We're getting at least 3 Don segments every week. I don't know that we need that, but that's where we're at.
Is it getting into, because this is what Grapple Geekery brings up, is it getting into Chris Jericho territory? He says it's not as bad as Chris Jericho stuff.
I will say the quality of it is not as bad as the Jericho stuff, but I would argue we see him a lot more in an episode than we used to see Jericho. We used to get like the one Jericho segment of the week. We get Don Callis multiple times a night now. So it's not quite the same. But at least like the saving grace right now for the Don Callis family stuff is that the Takeshita and Okada stuff is really good. Do you have Kyle Fletcher in the mix? So I'm enjoying the storylines around the Don Callis stuff, so it's not bothering me as much as the Jericho stuff, but it's a little overkill sometimes. It's a lot of it.
That's all I'm saying. I'm usually 99% of the time I'm happy to see Don Callis because he's next to Kyle Fletcher, he's next to Takeshita, he's next to Okada. But then like this week he had a backstage segment where it was just him, and it's like, all right, relax. Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
what is he doing? Why is he talking back there?
He'll be in the middle of Takeshita and Okada segment. He'll be in a segment by himself. He'll be in a Fletcher segment. Then he'll be on commentary. It's like, bro, it's a lot of time.
So yeah, I hear you, Grapple Geekery, but we're walking a fine line here, you guys. We're walking a fine line. Appreciate that, Grapple.
Yeah.
The homie
we did get the
go ahead.
I was gonna say we did get the finals of the AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament as well. Like you said, Babes of Wrath are the inaugural AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions. Not what I was expecting. Big underdog win for them. I had been predicting up to this point that Willow wasn't gonna win without Statlander, so I was very shocked that they made it all the way to the finals and then won. Especially with the storyline that seemed like they were telling with Tony and Mina, but I guess I should have seen that something had changed because the Sisters of Sin didn't make it to the finals, and I thought that was the logical next step after the Blood and Guts match. So I was kind of shocked with just how out of left field this felt. Really happy for Willow. Never going to be mad at Willow winning championship gold. I think she deserves all of the great things in wrestling. She's now potentially could be a Grand Slam champion soon. All she's missing is a big world title win. And Harley worked very hard. I think Harley has gotten over with the fans in this year, and I think that she deserves to be rewarded in some way. I just don't know how I feel about the dangling plot lines that you set up going into this, and we didn't get a payoff for it. I thought with all the time they spent on the Statlander and Willow reunion, I thought that was going to pay off in a way after this tournament, and it still could. I'm just kind of confused as to how we're getting there now. And then, like I said, all of the stuff that it seemed like they set up in the Blood and Guts match, it just led to the Holiday Death match, and that was it. That's kind of confusing as well. But again, I thought that this was a well-deserved win for both Willow and Harley. Is it fair to say that the tournament was a bit all over the place?
That's a fair assessment, I think, to make. I don't think I picked the Babes of Wrath for one match besides the last match just because I don't want to bet against Willow. But I didn't think that this was their tournament at all. Like you're saying, Phil, storylines, nothing really told us that this was going to be the what was going to happen here. Like I was convinced about halfway through that Tony and Mina were going to do it just because of how they were being booked with the story that they were telling, the promos, and then Blood and Guts. I was like, oh, of course, like the end is them whipping Mina and Tony's there, and like it feels like the natural resolution to this is for them to win the championship. And so the Babes of Wrath quietly had a nice little tournament on their way up, beating Athena and Mercedes and beating the Sisters of Sin and getting to the finals. But it was all like, this feels like a setup for the other one. So it was pretty confusing win, but exciting. I think, like you said, Phil, they deserved it. It wasn't like they did it. It's so out of left field. Like, why did they do this? It was just like the story was telling something different. But I will never be mad at Willow getting another big title win, being the inaugural AEW Women's Tag Team Champions. Harley, I think there was a moment when Harley challenged Mercedes months ago where people were saying Harley should win. So it's like there was fans that wanted a big win, I think, for both these women. So this represented something, but it just, I'm in the same boat as you. I was like, oh, okay, that's a shock. Yeah. It's a shocking win, I guess.
Yeah. It seemed like the overarching story has jumped around a bit. That's why I was a bit confused. And I hope this doesn't come off as, oh, well, my prediction didn't come true, so I didn't like it. It just, because like I said, it seemed like they were heading in a certain direction, and then they weren't, and then they started heading in another direction, and then it jumped to another direction. I don't know. I think that the way the tournament was presented was kind of all over the place. Like I said, it was kind of, I wish that there was more focus on a tournament. I wish that there was more focus on an actual storyline throughout the tournament. And I guess you could say, like, the story here was that Babes of Wrath were the underdogs all along, and they came away winning. But I don't know. It was a little disappointing, to be honest. And like I said, I don't think it's just, oh, my prediction didn't play out. I just think that the tournament could have been better overall. And I wanted more out of the tournament. But now that the tag titles are off and they're established, hopefully they have plans for them.
Yeah, this tournament just came at the most unfortunate time. It being surrounded by blood and guts stuff, it leading into the C2. Like, there was just too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like you said, have the full focus on what this tournament should have been. Some of the matches were like when you compare it to what the C2 was representing and what it's doing, that tournament was completely different than this. There's like interference.
Yeah.
Some of the matches are there. It's like what it was and what we thought it was going to be were a little bit different. I hope that the tag team championships can benefit from having some strong baby faces behind them. I think we did establish a lot of cool teams in this, and we did establish what this division could be. So I did like that aspect of it, but so many kind of twists and turns in it, maybe a little bit unnecessary, kind of affected it.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think that the best thing coming out of this tournament, and I continue to say the women's blood and guts match is just it just shows how stacked this division is, how much talent is here, and how much progress the division has made in the past 6 years. We just still have some ways to go with the way the women are utilized and the stories that the women are given.
It's not a surprise. Women's wrestling needs more. It's going to continue to need more, and every company. So, yeah, we'll get into some more AEW talk here in a bit. Ben Sifner says, do you guys think there's any shot that Obafemi wins tonight without interference?
I think he should win, personally, and I think he should win clean. I'm not sure. I would not be surprised if we get a Drew McIntyre appearance, but I think Oba should win clean.
The way that they've been having the two promos that I've heard from Oba after winning this opportunity to face Cody shows me that they need to have him win clean and maybe like put a beating on Cody pretty good. Like, he's saying your time is up. I'm here. I'm going to finish you off. Like, they need to make it look like something to really put Oba over. It's going to be interesting. I don't think it needs interference, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is interference.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Ben. The homie Van Twinblade says, get ready to hit Control plus Triple H on your mellow booking tweets. Hunter is about to ruin the big man. C2 is condensed fire.
Yeah. Mello got big chance last night. I thought that was great. There's clearly a big part of the fandom that wants Mello to get something. They want him to get a clear direction. They just want them to do something with this guy. And I think it's crazy that that's been the conversation all this year and it hasn't really changed.
Yeah, that continues to be a thing. I think anytime there's like an opportunity for somebody that's not the norm or somebody that they think should be given the opportunity, that I've either heard LA Knight or Mello for most of the time. And I think that's a really good sign. Like, I think most people, when they're like, oh, this should be somebody getting a push, getting something, they bring up Mello. So that does mean something.
Did you see this Bully Ray clip?
I did not.
Where he was saying it wouldn't have felt believable if Mello won the tournament. It would have felt force-fed, and it would have felt like out of nowhere. And I just don't understand every time we have these kind of conversations, because I come back to the same conclusion. They write the stories. This is this company that you guys keep telling me they tell stories. You're telling me in the past month you couldn't tell a story about Mello being the guy that ends up retiring John Cena and winning this tournament. You couldn't go back into your archives and show his promo with Adam Cole where he mimicked John Cena's promo of ruthless aggression. This guy has been telling us online for over a year that he's a big John Cena fan, that John Cena inspired him. They want to be US champion like John Cena. You couldn't tell a story on TV for the past few months on why this guy was so inspired by John Cena growing up that he wanted to be the guy that ended up having his last match, and that wouldn't have felt believable? I'm confused by that take. Very confused by it, because I'm like, yeah, you can tell a story to get people into most things, and trying to turn it into, oh, well, that's not believable. Hey, like I said when I responded, when I saw this clip, a year ago, people would have been saying Jey Uso as world champion is not believable. But that's why we tell stories, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. That's my favorite diss too, of when people are like, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, well, the writers can make it make sense pretty quickly. I think that's their job. Like, that's how you could be believable. That's how it could be a thing, is they make it, they write it, they put it in the script. That's how these things work. But they don't understand that part. That's not what the narrative he was pushing anyways about,
Yeah, it's just I don't understand it. And I also don't understand the idea of it being force-fed when every time I get on social media, there are people like, hey, what are they doing with Mello? Do more with Mello. I want to see this guy in the mix. And so I don't think it would have been that crazy if Mello won this tournament, because I think a lot of the fan base wanted to see him make it far in this tournament.
Yeah. And now this is going to end up being not. I thought the end of this was going to be somebody new essentially getting a big win over John Cena, and they kind of are, but it's in a different way. Actually, I don't think they are, because Cena's going to win in the end. So I don't know. Just funny.
I'm sure this is going to come off away from me, but you're telling me that it was believable and you had time for 3 Dom matches, but you couldn't give Mello one match against this guy? That's what you're telling me?
That's what they're saying. It's Dom though, Phil. He's the hottest under 30 or whatever way they say.
I don't get it. I don't get why that is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
We never will. We never will. Appreciate that, man.
I think there were some stories with John Cena this year that were layups, and I was very surprised that they didn't go in that direction. Like I said, with the Carmelo thing, and as much as he talked about John Cena online and he's mimicked him on their programming, as much as Joe Hendry talked about wanting a John Cena match, and he never got one either. And there was actually a really cool story around that, and like I don't get it.
Yeah, there was a bunch of layups and a bunch of things that should have been easy, and they made it very difficult. They made it very difficult to get to this Saturday night main events match, but we're here. We'll see how they finish it off. Appreciate that, Van Twinblade. Daffy AIW says, congrats to the Babes of Wrath. The right pick at the end of the day. Also, my pick of Mina dethroning Mercedes is clear. Willow was my second choice.
Yeah, I thought that coming into this week, that was another reason why I kind of thought the Babes of Wrath weren't going to win, because I thought Willow was going to go on to challenge Mercedes. But I don't know where we're going with it now. Maybe Willow still will. Maybe somebody else will challenge her. I don't know.
Yeah, like at the end of it, it's just like I love Willow so much, and as much as success as she gets, I'm happy about it. So that's great. But I also thought she was going to be the one to beat Mercedes, and now that kind of throws a wrench in this. And then I also thought the first time she won the tag team championships, like you said, was going to be with Chris Statlander. So all this has changed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daffy. Ben also says John Cena will soon be forgotten because Dominic will be our forever GOAT. Here you go.
Yeah. I believe Daffy is Tony P, by the way.
Oh, what's up, Tony?
But yeah. Yeah. Some of this Dom talk has been a little egregious. I don't know. It's been a little egregious. So.
It just keeps ramping up. Every time he does something, they're like, see, I told you. I'm like, all right, you guys. Okay.
Yeah. It's
all right, okay. Mm-hmm. Is he on the show tonight?
No. He got 3 matches already. What is there to do?
But if we're talking about the future of this company, wouldn't you put him in one of those matches against the NXT guy? Thought this was all his.
Didn't he like go down to NXT and have a bunch of matches? He was North American champion at one point. I think we got it. That's cool. I think we've seen it.
We've seen it, Dom. Ben, you got it. You're going to see a lot of Dom Mysterios for the next couple of years moving forward. Ben also says, very generous super chat, appreciate that. Bayley might be the least obvious Fed robot in the company. She doesn't publicly kiss the ass of the higher-ups like many WWE wrestlers do. I hope she leaves the company, but I still respect her if she does not.
Yeah, man, I think people got to also keep in mind, just because, like, you know, people can walk and chew gum. I think that she's very passionate about women's wrestling, but it's very clear that wrestling for WWE was always her dream. And you can see that in how she talks about WWE. But that doesn't mean, you know, it might not change. You know, it could turn into, I did that. I've accomplished everything I want here and I want to do something else. Or I might want to wrestle somewhere else. That might happen. Or she might just turn around and be like, I still have unfinished business here. There are still things I want to do here before I wrap up my career. And I don't think she's wrong for either of those decisions, because that's a very personal decision where you work and whatever your personal dreams and aspirations are. So I don't think she's wrong. I hate when people turn it into, oh, well, I don't want to hear you talk about anything if you stay there. Like, why is that your business to say that?
Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that frame of mind either. And Bayley still has a bunch of years to go. She could do both. She could go to leave the company, go to AEW, have a career, come back to WWE. All these things are still open for her to do. And I hope that she is just good with herself and enjoying the thing that she does, whatever she does.
Yeah, look, I'll support regardless because I'm a fan of Bayley. Personally, I would love it if she quit her job and went somewhere else. But, you know, if she stays put, that's her decision.
It just would do so much more if you're listening to this, Bayley. You would do so much more if you were doing the exact same thing as Mercedes. Imagine how many women you could help on the outside. Just so many. So many are just waiting for the opportunity to do the same thing that they're doing with Mercedes. And we would all love it. That's it. That's all.
Listen, man, I know she keeps saying it. I want the Statlander match. Hey, man, it can happen. I know she didn't really care for Mercedes teaming up with Athena and having a tag run. Hey, man, there's tag belts over here now. Listen, hey.
There's tag belts over here now. You guys like tag belts a lot. Yeah, teaming up. You guys are, come on, man. Y'all are friends. Y'all are lifetime friends at this point. Do it. I want to see it.
Yeah. She's talked about wanting to wrestle in Mexico, Arena Mexico, and all these things. Hey, man, there's some options out there, man.
Absolutely. But if she signs a contract and stays with WWE for the rest of her life, I would understand.
Yeah. There are plenty of people that I would love to see go somewhere else, but they're happy where they are. And so that's what it is.
Yeah, shout out to my guy getting announced for season 3 of LFG. Kevin Owens, he's locked in. They're going to keep giving him contracts. They're never going to let him do anything. Honestly, I hope he's in good health, and I hope that his spirit is good, though. Good for him. I did see that the homegirl Natty took old Michelle McCool's job, though. Michelle, that pillow talk didn't only work for a little bit.
Yeah, man. Listen, shout out to Natty, man. Natty is getting her blood sport gimmick on TV more. I know that she had talked about wanting to do that. I just saw that quote for her where she's basically like, I'm kind of done with Natalya. Let her be Natty Neidhart on TV. I think the stuff she was doing outside of WWE was cool. I think she deserved the chance to at least give it a shot on regular TV. Those vignettes that they've been airing with her and Maxine are cool. So, man, yeah. What do you have to lose?
And bro, she's been the character Natalya for so long. Let her become something else. Like, we've known her for like 15 years as the same character. Like, let the homegirl evolve. No pun intended.
Bro, if Natty doesn't win the women's Intercontinental Championship before she retires, what are we doing? Like, her family and like that title and how synonymous they are, she's got to get a run with that belt at some point, right?
Come on, it would make zero sense if Natty retires and she doesn't have a run of the Intercontinental Championship. Her uncle's synonymous with that championship. Like, come on, you guys. Like, what are you talking about? You got to do it. It has to be happen one time. The photos, all that, the history that represents that needs to happen. Shout out to Natty getting the opportunity to do that. Like, I know people be hating again, like I was saying on the dungeon, but she's been doing a lot for wrestling beyond just what's for herself.
Yeah. There are so many women in that company since the women's revolution that are in the position they are because of Natty. The stuff she's done behind the scenes, the matches that have really turned them into who they are. Like, Charlotte wouldn't be Charlotte without that Natalya match from NXT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, essentially Natty became like the it's what used to be the X-Pac role. Is like anytime a new wrestler would come in, they put him against X-Pac and be like, if they can go with X-Pac, then they could go here. And when you see them go with Natty, you're like, oh, they can go here. And that's exactly what she's represented for so long. So good thing she's getting her shot, because she needs a big run, I think, before it's all said and done too.
I'm trying to say she goes, Natty goes.
She goes. This is our friend colleague Bravo. He goes. It's been a long year, you guys. Appreciate that, Ben. The homie Grapple Geekery says, Don Riders unite under his earning. Hell of a sentence.
Don Riders.
Grapple Geekery is definitely team Don Riders. But damn, can I determine how much Don I want on my show? It's been a lot.
Don Riders. The earning tree is hilarious too. He should I'm surprised. Yeah, Don should pull that out on TV, man. The earning tree, that'd be fire.
Listen, you might have to shoot that one to him, Grapple Geeker. You might have stumbled onto something here.
I don't know. They might not want to mention Jericho too much on TV. I don't know when we'll see him again.
I saw the USA Network social media account posting about him. I saw it on Facebook first, and I was like, oh, he gone.
Signs are there. Signs are definitely there.
I'm like, oh, they're talking out loud about him already? Oh, shit. Because they don't like secrets anymore, Phil. I don't know if secrets are a thing at this point. Like, if Chris Jericho signs on the dotted line, we're going to know as soon as he signs. Like, fucking Sports Illustrated or ESPN, somebody's going to let us know before we see him on TV.
Yeah, it sure seems like it's they're teeing it up.
We about to break the walls down, baby.
Yeah, no, it feels like they about to hit the what's the Charlie Wilson joint. I'm not sure of what I see. Cupid, don't fuck with me. Are you telling me that this is a sign?
Ooh-wee.
It feels like it's coming, bro.
Definitely, the signs are signing. Appreciate that, Grapple Geekery. Tim McFarland says with very generous super chat. Appreciate that, Tim. People complaining about Bailey's camp need to touch grass. Rhea, Mercedes, Bianca, Tony are as bigger than any man, and EO is WWE's best in-ring performer. All these bros need to shut up and watch women's wrestling rules. That's the funniest part, Tim, is like women's wrestling has dominated. They've been the MVPs all year. Like, yes, wrestling's starting to run through what the women are doing. And so shout out to them. Shout out. I just saw that Danny Luna and Indy Hartwell dog collar match. Danny Luna's all bloody. Danny Luna's a fucking hooper. If you guys don't know, like women's wrestling is insane.
Yeah, I definitely think the women have been the MVPs for WWE this year. Evolution is the best WWE PLE this year by far, in my opinion. And yeah, man, shout out to Danny Luna. I think that, you know, if they're looking for somebody to build up next year, I think she could be a future knockout champion.
Absolutely. Again, the knockouts are going to save TNA. Who is surprised about that? Appreciate that, Tim. Appreciate that generous super chat. The homie Tyrone Kid says these Street Fighter promos, man.
Yeah, that trailer was it was definitely a trailer. The posters that came out as well. Ja Rule was getting his shit off at 50. These two, I guess, were just gonna beef till the end of time. Yeah, the visuals for this looked crazy. I definitely was sitting rubbing my hands together and doing basically that Mason Cam laugh at everybody trashing homeboy with his shitty mustache. I was like, yeah,
absolutely.
Get him. He sucks.
Get him out of here. I was looking at all the quote tweets. I was looking at all the replies, and everybody was the same. This guy's awful. He sucks. A lot of people are saying they're not going to watch the movies because he's in it. I'm like, it's some pure hatred for this guy.
Well deserved.
Super well deserved. He earned it, Philip Lindsey. He earned it. I don't know how to feel because at the Video Game Awards, that same guy, they did a bit where they made fun of the Mortal Kombat cast, and I'm like, the Mortal Kombat that came out a few years ago, Kit kind of, and I
liked it.
Yeah, me too. And I'm like, part 2 is probably going to be better than this little movie that you guys are peddling here. So I don't really know what the beef is.
That's what I thought. I was like, all right, well, get your shit off. But I would not be surprised if Mortal Kombat 2 is the better movie.
Seeing Cody with his little guile cut and 50 with his ball rock cut, I'm just like, it's gonna be something, Phil. Like, we haven't seen. When's the last time we saw a movie like this with a fucking oddball ensemble? Like, I don't even know how to describe the people that are in this.
Crazy cast. The Godo picture with Godo in the fat suit and like all of this. It's a lot going on. Momoa as Blanca, like Momoa meeting Roman backstage for the awards, and like him getting that clip off, and people like the Joes are finally together. Like, there was a lot happening. It was a lot happening.
Momoa is so excited in those. Like, you would think like he's meeting like his god. Like, he was like so giddy standing next to Rome. Like, oh, he's a big fan.
He seems like he always is having fun everywhere he goes.
Incredible,
he's gonna,
yes.
Even if it's not a great situation, I'm gonna have fun. What's up?
I've seen some niggas being boring in the background of his videos, and he's having the greatest time you've ever seen in his life. I'm like, oh, this guy's having a ball everywhere he goes.
Yeah, he seems like he's having a blast. The brief shot we got of him as Lobo and the Supergirl trailer, I was like, nah, he always should have been Lobo. I don't know why he was cast as Aquaman to begin with. This was perfect casting. He should have always been Lobo. And we only saw him for like a second. I was like, nah, this was it. This was the casting right here.
That Aquaman bag was heavy, Phil. It had to be super heavy. And he was just like, all right,
for sure.
It's not really wasn't my first pick as a superhero, but I'll try it.
For sure. Look, man, get your bag, but also this looks fire. And the lore is that as soon as James Gunn took over, Momoa sent him a text that just said Lobo baby. So
yep.
I'm excited for it, man. I think this is perfect casting for him.
And shout out to that story Phil just told of shooting your shot. Like Momoa shot his shot at Jane. He's like, look, I know what's gonna happen. If you thinking about Lobo, make sure you thinking about me. It's easy as that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be an interesting movie to see when it comes out. That's all I'm gonna say from here. It's a while. It's next October, so we got some time to stew on it.
Yeah. The wigs look kind of crazy that I saw in the trailer. Wigs are looking wild. The
Wigs are quiet.
It's this is either gonna be a complete and utter disaster or it's gonna be a fun camp fest like the other Street Fighter movie.
Maybe that's what they were going for. I mean, if Andrew Schultz, like we're talking about it, is in it, like my homie though, one of my favorite shows from the last couple of years is the show Warrior. They tell the Bruce Lee story, essentially loose Bruce Lee story. The guy playing Ryu in it is in that. So like that part's gonna be dope because he's a dope fighter. Like he's been in a bunch of stuff, but like the rest of it surrounding him, I don't know.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Tyrone. Ben also says, I've heard a rumor that TK is in talks to make Bully and Matt Hardy co-bookers. You heard a crazy rumor. I don't know who your sources are, but they are lying. It's a bit. Would you stop watching, Phil?
I would give it a chance, but I don't know how that's gonna look, man. I don't know. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm okay with that one, Ben. Let's keep it how we go. The homie LGR says, let's not forget Momoa moshing at the final Black Sabbath show. I didn't see that. That sounds like a dope clip.
What a guy, man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this guy was with Lisa Bonet for a while. Like,
hey, man,
he's lived a great, wonderful life, I'd say.
What a guy, man. I think the funniest thing about that clip that he showed on his IG of him, like, y'all see my poster? Like, and he's like, hey, Joe, you see my poster? And like, Roman's like, yeah, it looks cool. It's fierce. Then he's like, hey, Cody, man, you see my poster? And Cody's like, Cody, like, I was like, this is do we need to get on IG to do this? I don't know.
He wants everybody to know. Nah, shout out to the homie. Look like he's having a good time out there. Cody, yeah. Roman's wig and that too. I'm like, this movie's gonna be a movie.
Cody behind everybody, seeming like he's doing the Talladega Nights bit of I don't know what to do with my hands, and he just kept smiling, showing all his teeth, and I was like, it's okay, just smooth out. Sorry.
Yeah, you're there. You're on TV every week, dog, like in front of millions. Like, I don't know why you're nervous up there.
Yeah, you saw all of them pearly whites and all them pictures. Very those that family really likes a black t-shirt and a chain.
Mm-hmm. That's
their vibe.
That's it. They riding it to the end.
Yeah, little black. Throw a chain on top. That's the look.
Listen, it's a style, Phil. It is a style. That's all of our super chats for now. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, appreciate you guys sending in your super chats. We got 2 humper chats here from Tony P. He says, Petty a week goes to Reg for reminding someone to eat their veggies. He must have listened because I haven't seen that many black folks on a WWE show in a long time. LOL. The good winter is coming. Kyle versus Mike, Danny versus Indy, Mercedes, triggering folks, U.S. title open.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about my tweet. I was like, what is the homie Tony P talking about? I made a little Triple H joke online off the backs of Jelly Roll. Shout out to Jelly Roll seeing color for the first time in 20 years because he stopped eating sugar.
Yo, sugar is dangerous, man.
I tell people all the time. All the time. I could quit weed right now. I'd be fine. I'd have to go to rehab to quit sugar. Like I need straight up, like take me in, lock me up. Like that's how bad sugar is. It's an awful thing. I hate it.
Yeah. There's a study on like how much sugar you're supposed to actually intake regularly and how your average American is way over the amount that you're not supposed to intake that much sugar regularly, and how it is linked to multiple things other than diabetes, of course. That is like the amount of people that are suffering from like dementia and Alzheimer's as they get older. There are like connections to sugar intake with that, and yeah.
I'm sure one can of soda is more than we need in a year at this point with how much sugars in a can of soda.
Yeah.
Horrible.
We got another one from Tony P. He says, the bad, my heat, the Saint heel turn, Selena, sorry, Cresta, it's true. I don't know what you're talking about with the Selena thing. If you're talking about that video that was going around, that was oof.
What happened? I didn't see
it. The Selena and Rhea clip that's been going around. The people are
I did see it. Psych. Just kidding.
Yeah. He says, Sharon Moore and his foolishness, the White House press security snitching on her nephew's mom to ICE for her bros custody battle. Ja Rule. He's right though. Wrestling fans and black women. Peace and love, y'all. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Ja Rule being Ja Rule, and people getting upset about Ja Rule, saying that 50 doesn't really care about the victims. He's just being petty. And I was like, I mean, he's right. I just don't think people want to hear it from Ja.
That's it.
It felt kind of like the same thing as the Otunga video where Otunga had receipts and he may have had a point about all this stuff, but in the midst of all these people trying to celebrate John Cena, they just didn't want to hear that.
Yeah, probably wasn't the time. Like I think like you're saying, Phil, he had all the receipts, and you could believe it's not so far fetched that it's like out of the realm of what could have totally happened. But like during the 2 weeks before he's about to retire, and people are celebrating him and posting their favorite moments, and you're like, well, I would have beat his ass. It just didn't really wasn't the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen both clips. I saw the clip where he talked about that whole thing, and then he talked about the period of the Nexus under CM Punk and how he talked about like writing the shows with Punk and his first impression of Punk and all these things. I don't think that he's wrong for putting this stuff out there. I just think it's one of those things where popularity is a motherfucker, because when people like you, you know, everything you do is like, oh, I'm so glad he's telling these stories. But when you're not as popular as John Cena and you're David Otunga doing it, it's like, well, who are you to even do these things? It's like, well, he had time in the business. He's a wrestler. He has his right, just like anybody that's been in the business, to tell stories about his time in the business. I just think that it's certain things people don't want to hear from him.
There was a black man complained about something happening in WWE. You know who threw that cape on immediately? Here he comes. Dun, 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 Booker T. Oh, he's what was Booker T even talking about? Like, oh, he a punk ass. Why? How did you land here? How did you get here? Why are you so personally affected about David Otunga talking about John Cena? I just didn't understand where these quotes were coming from.
Yeah.
It's a pattern.
It is a pattern. And I thought, with the time period we're in and a lot of stories we hear all the time, I don't think that was necessarily the take to go with of like, oh, well, you're a punk if you're a grown man saying somebody else bullied you. I don't think that was really the takeaway from all of this.
No.
Even if you came back and was like, okay, like, why did you put this out now? If the timing wasn't great or something like that, or even if you just like reacted to everything he was saying, sure. But they called him a punk because of all of this, and like, because his whole story is basically like he did all these things. He used his position to, make me less comfortable and talk down to me. And you're in this position, so I can't fight John Cena. This is a top guy. Because I want to work here and I'm just getting in, I'm a rookie here. Yeah, if I put hands on this guy, I all of that goes away. I get fired. And so, yeah, he knows how this goes. Most people in the business know how this goes. And we've heard these stories before about top guys and politics and, people using their position to bully people. This isn't a new thing, and trying to turn it into, questioning his manhood and him being a punk because he didn't do something about it. It's like, all right. Let's relax.
And imagine, Phil, if this story were different. Imagine if David Otunga did knock Cena the fuck out. How do you think Booker T would have talked about him then?
He would have, oh, that's unprofessional. You can't
Yeah,
do that. You got to know
exactly.
your place here and all this other
Come on.
stuff. So it's a lose-lose situation for him. And I just don't think it's a good idea to latch onto that word bullying and then try to say, well, you're a grown man. Another grown man can't bully you. It's like, but we know how these things go in business when people have position of power. Regardless if you like that word, regardless, he he talked down to him and he disrespected him in a way that other people in that company may not have been able to do. But he's John Cena at that time. What are you going to do to John Cena? You can't. It's not like you can come clap back at him. It's not like you can put hands on him. Like,
and Booker T, it's a wrestling locker room. We all know what time it is, brother. Like, why are you acting like, oh, you better stand up for yourself? You can't. If a top guy is tormenting you, you can't stand up for you. We've heard it. We heard the Miz talk about JBL and them kicking him out of the locker room and saying, if you do something, that's like, you can't do anything, dude. You have to sit there and take it. And that's what David Otunga was saying. I know I can't do anything because if I knock this fool out, then I'm gone.
the crazy part about it, and I do believe Otunga's story, just because the receipts he came with, the stuff that he was saying. I don't think he would just make this stuff up, and it correlates with other things we've heard about Cena before. I don't think he's wrong. And this ties to one of the most famous wrestling stories of the past 20 years with WWE, like you said, and the Miz getting kicked out of a locker room. So is it really that hard to believe that people saw Otunga as just a reality TV star that was just trying to latch on to wrestling and kicked him out of the locker room? I don't think that that's far-fetched at all based on what we know. And even when he was talking about it in the other video where he was talking about how he was surprised by Punk doing the pipe bomb promo and using the Be a Star stuff in there, because he was saying, I did stuff with Be a Star and I was directly told you cannot talk about bullying or any stuff like that on WWE TV. That's a no-no. And so, yeah, I don't think this is that crazy. Some of the stuff he was saying, I think a lot of stuff he said lined up, especially like I said last episode where I was saying, he talked about how they constantly wanted him to bring Jennifer Hudson in and try to get her into the business. Yeah, that sounds like how WWE moves.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's why I'm like,
I don't think he made any of that up.
Probably wasn't the time, like you're saying. Maybe not the best time to be like, let's talk about Cena and the bad shit he did. But the stuff he was saying is not totally out of the realm of stuff that we've heard in the wrestling business legit since it started.
Yeah. And we've heard other people that had problems with John Cena. Like, you're not the only person that has said similar things like this. I just think it's, like I said, it's a popularity thing. And, at this moment, people are celebrating John Cena. So they don't want to hear this right now. And people have a hard time with reconciling, hey, I really like somebody, but they might have also done some things that are not great either. That's just the case. There are a lot of people in wrestling that have done some shitty stuff behind closed doors. Like, that's just what it is. Like, listen, as a fan of a very problematic guy, I know how this
goes. And Phil, like I was saying, John Cena was on top, dude. Not just like one of the guys. He was the number one guy for like 15 straight years. There's no way that you could be on top for 15 straight years and not get into some mess, not step on a couple of heads on the way out, not do a little bit of the things that were ingrained in your brain coming up to work like a top guy and do things like top guys do.
Yeah, I hate to break it to people, but most of the top guys in this business, especially top guys for WWE, have done some problematic things. They have done some politicking, or they've done some things behind closed doors that if the public knew about it, they would be like, oh, that's terrible. How could they do that? But it's seen as such a norm in wrestling. I think people would be very surprised, especially with people that they like. And it's very it's very mystifying when I see people talk about somebody like John Cena or Roman Reigns. And it's like, well, why are you even bringing this up? And it's like, yeah, I mean, if you're a top guy in this company, most of these people politic. Most of these people have done something shady to somebody else to protect their spot. Like, there's a paranoia around wrestling. There's insecurity around wrestling. We hear about these things all the time. And as I keep telling you guys, you don't know a lot of these people, man. Just because we like them as a personality on TV, that doesn't mean that's who they are. And I know people have made John into like this inspiring figure and this perfect human being, but nobody's perfect, man. And, I'm sure, there's stuff that John might have done back then to somebody like Otunga, and he might regret it. I don't know.
Listen, on my Mount Rushmore of top guys is always in the news, the legendary Bret the Hitman Hart. I watched there is a documentary that I'm sure many of you guys have seen called Wrestling with Shadows, and they talk about the Montreal Screwjob, and the whole documentary is based on what Phil's talking about here. The whole time he's like, oh, don't want to do that. I'm a top guy. I'm doing this. He was moving a certain way. Shawn Michaels was definitely moving a certain way, being like, I'm not doing that. I'm wilding. I'm on drugs. I'm not doing shit. Like, this is like John Cena was tame compared to that, but that's the lines of things that he was taught.
Yeah, bro. Bret was leaving a company. It was known that he was leaving a company, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not dropping the belt to this guy." Like, what do you mean? Like, you're not gonna be here. You're going to WWE's biggest competition. Most of us know that, and you're just like, nah, not dropping the belt to that guy.
Not doing it. Not to him.
Pick
anybody else.
Yeah. Bro, people act like, oh, it's just okay because it's Bret. And it's like, nah, if this was somebody y'all didn't like, y'all would be like, this guy's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's across the board with stuff like that. I still think one of the funniest things in the world that people do not hold against him because it's Austin, and most of us love Austin. This guy was just like, hey, man, that guy's the next up. You want me to lose to that guy? Well, hey, I'm going home. I'm not losing to him. What?
Like, not only am I not going to be on the show, I'm going home. And I don't care what you guys got me written in for next week. No. I don't care about none of that. The top guy, the number one guy was like, see ya.
Yeah, top guy of the company, like, no, oh, y'all are trying to make this guy the new guy. Y'all want me to put that guy over? I won't be there, buddy. See you later. Can you imagine if that came out about some of these guys today? They just decided, I'm not losing to this guy. I'm going home. It'd be a huge deal.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I can't really put it past Cena to. It's almost in the culture. I mean, we were just reading Vince McMahon lawsuit stuff, Phil, and the culture they were talking about 2021 stuff. That was still wild. That was still bullying culture happening on the highest level at that company. And you can't believe that in 2010 that David Otunga wasn't being bullied by a top guy. It's pretty easy things to understand.
Yeah. Yeah. There are stories out of wrestling that I sometimes think that the fans just don't need to know because, the fans will turn things into, I got to take sides. And you don't, sometimes you can look at these things like, oh, I may like this person, but he's wrong.
And now people think David Otunga's a Cena hater when that really wasn't what he was trying to do,
Yeah, I don't think that was really what he was saying. If you watch the whole video, I know it's like an hour long. That's not what I came across. It didn't seem like he was trying to make a video to bash Cena, or I think he was just telling this story because he's never gotten a chance to tell this story publicly.
Right.
That's at least how it came off to me. And again, I know people can look at it like, all right, your timing isn't great. This is like the worst time to come out with this because people are not going to take it at face value because people just want to celebrate him at the moment. But I think two things can happen at once. You can celebrate a guy, but also be honest about him. I mean, I don't think a lot of some of the stuff he was saying in interviews this week came off great. But at this point, that's Cena, and I know Cena in media mode, like that's what he's gonna do.
Brother will slow walk the dog, Phil. Like if he just needs to go right there, he's gonna go all the way around to get to there. Like every sentence is like a story, a full-blown philosophy quote. It's like, what's going on here?
Sometimes he not even gonna slow walk the dog. He just about to stand right there. You like, oh, you need to go out. Well, listen, man, there comes a time in everybody's life when they need to go outside, and you might really think you need to go outside right now, but you know, I just think you need to understand balance at times, and sometimes staying inside at the right time and maybe using the bathroom on this newspaper instead of going outside is the way to go. And I can't always tell you that that's the way to go, but sometimes we got to understand that that's the route to go in life.
And you're like, wait, that's your explanation for WrestleMania? And he's like, yeah.
Bro, he will not answer a question sometimes like, yo, hey, man, so what you think about this? Hey, well, I don't really think about it that much because, I don't have regrets in life. Because when you have regrets in life, it holds you back. It's like, well, wait a minute. I just want you to answer the question.
This guy that told Van Vliet that who cares? That's not a heel. This guy's not a heel to you guys. No. Who cares?
Who cares is wild funny, bro. And that's why, again, some of this stuff, like, I beg of you guys to not take a lot of this stuff too seriously, because when you don't take it seriously, a lot of this stuff is hilarious, bro. like him seriously answering a question about a heel turn. Like, they were hyping this up as the greatest heel turn ever, and they spent half of this year on this story just for it to go nowhere. And when I asked about, hey, well, what was supposed to happen there? Who cares? What do you mean?
Why are you guys hung up on the details? We're hung up on the details because it was a huge story. What do you mean?
Fucking hilarious, bro. That's why I'm like, some of this Cena stuff is very funny, man. Yeah. Some of his answers are a bit tone deaf. Some of it's like, oh, like his answer on Punk when they asked him, and he was like, yeah, I got really emotional at him going to Saudi Arabia.
Couple of these answers I didn't need, Phil. Now you could have kept that one, I think.
Bro, the fact that he bypassed that heel question from Van Vliet and basically waffled on it. But boy, he will not bypass any Vince question, bro.
Never.
He will answer that question directly every time.
He will never say next question. He'll never walk around it. He's just like, yeah, he did. I couldn't give anybody else more credit. He helped me with my career. There would be no John Cena. It's like, dog,
bro,
you can dodge this one. Like you can get away from it. He never gets away from it.
You could easily be like, hey man, I answered that question already. I feel like it's out there. I don't want to keep getting into that, bro. He will still answer it the same.
No, he's like, I answered that, and I'm going to answer it again. Let me. Maybe they didn't hear it the last time.
Oh, yo. Shut
up. I'm saying it's checks and balances, Phil. It's like he is who you say he is, but he also is who you say he is,
bro.
Oh, he's retiring tonight.
Oh man, John Cena is retiring tonight at Saturday Night Main Event. We're gonna run down the card for Saturday Night Main Event and get into week 3 of the Continental Classic. But first, I want to hit you guys with a word from our sponsors, Aura Frames.
Grapsody friends, do you want that aura? Are you after that aura? I've got that aura for you. Aura frames, the perfect gift for someone special in your life, or not even that special if you want. Like, they're going to appreciate it anyway, because aura frames are incredible. You can upload unlimited photos and video. You can preload photos before it ships and personalize your gift. You want to put a picture of Brock Lesnar slipping and falling on his head? You can do that with aura frames. You want to put something like sweet and emotional, you can do that with aura frames, and it includes a gift box. You can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. And for a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com and get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frames by using the promo code Fightful. Named #1 by Wirecutter. That's AURA frames.com, promo code Fightful. This deal is exclusive to our listeners, and the frames sell out fast. Terms and conditions do apply.
If you are looking for Christmas gifts ideas, you want a way to display your digital pictures, Aura Frames is the way to go. Use our promo code Fightful at Aura Frames. Yeah, let's get into this card for tonight. John Cena's final match. We've been building up to this all year. It's kind of crazy that we spent this entire year on this farewell tour. Very up and down year, all things considered. Roller coaster ride of a farewell tour. It could have been better, but nevertheless, we're here. Saturday night main event. We'll be coming to you live from Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. There was a talk at one point about John Cena going on first. I believe he did the Pat McIntyre show. Pat McAfee show. And he was like, no, we're going on last. I don't know where you guys heard that from, but we're going on last.
That was a very funny conversation for, it felt like a week or two of people being like, Cena's going on first because he wants the future of the business to get all the shine. And then Cena went on that show and was like, now you're going to see my name at the end of this. You're going to see me held with my hand held up at the end of this. And that makes sense, Phil. Like that rumor, I was like, that's a dumb rumor. Why the fuck would they put him on first? Like all these people are going to be tuning in to watch him and would just leave after he's done. Like that's not the move in this situation, I think.
Yeah, I think the report originally came from Dave Meltzer. There was an idea at one point that he could open the show. That really doesn't make sense with the way that this show is being built. You're going to exhaust your crowd if John Cena comes out first, and you don't want that. You want your crowd to be invested in the other three matches, and you want them as loud as possible for the main event. And yeah, this is supposed to be here so people can, give it up to John Cena, bid their farewells to him. So I wouldn't think that you would open the show with that.
Phil, people are going to be crying. Like, this is a thing. Like, people are going to be emotionally drained after this moment, and you don't want to put that first. That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, we've got a 4-match card. Easy peasy. Bailey will be taking on Sol Ruca in an exhibition match. I think this is a great spot for Sol Ruca. I think she's one of the most exciting women coming out of NXT, has one of the best finishers in the game right now. Very excited to see how this pans out. I think there are a few women you could have went with on this show. They're very much heavily invested in Kendall Gray. You can see that they are invested in like Blake and Jordan as well, but I think Sol Ruca makes a lot of sense here.
I mean, she's been featured on a couple of SmackDowns and on main roster things, and I think she's knocked it out of the park every time. There's a nice, you feel good about the future when you see her cooking. So putting her in a spot against somebody we talked about on the show, Bailey, also makes a lot of sense. This is the most eyes Sol Ruca ever will have on her up to this point, and I think it's a good opportunity for her. And she has a bet in there, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah. It's got another exhibition tag match. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee will be taking on young up-and-comers Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Very happy to see Leon Slater on this card. Javon has had a lot of opportunities this year, whether it been the SmackDown match for the U.S. title with Sami Zayn, being a part of the Last Time Is Now tournament and the match with Gunther. But this is yet another great opportunity for him to shine. I know people wanted Leon to get a match with AJ Styles on TNA. I didn't see that happening. AJ going back over there to challenge for the X Division belt. This is kind of the best way to really scratch that urge of getting that match with him. And then, also getting Javon Evans in the mix. I think this match is going to be heat. I have to assume, of course, that the tag champs are going to win, though. I don't see AJ and Dragon Lee taking an L here, but should be a fun match.
I was just laughing thinking about that AJ Styles quote from a few weeks ago where he was like, Yeah, well, they were asking him about wrestling in TNA, and he was like, "They're not gonna let me. Like, what do you guys think this is? Like, I'm AJ Styles. Like, that would just mean too much. It just would muddy up what TNA is doing over there, essentially." And then they announced this match on a WWE show, and I'm like, "That's why. Like, they're not gonna give you the match. They're gonna take that match."
Yeah, we're getting it over here. There was some controversy at one point. I think Leon had some dub x dub date or something that got canceled for this. Yeah, every time we hear things like that where wrestlers have to cancel dates for WWE, it's not really great. But at the same time, Leon's going to get so many eyes on him, and this is such a great opportunity for him. I can't say that I am really mad at it.
AEW be doing that shit too.
Yeah.
A couple of, like, the Ashe show was affected a few weeks ago with they pulled Khan off for AEW. So it's like, I hate when that happens. I wish there could be more time for the companies that are affected by it to deal with it, because they're doing this days before, being like, hey, the guy you thought you were going to see is not going to be here. So that's really unfortunate. Beyond that, though, this has the opportunity to, of course, be match of the night. Javon and Leon Slater have been incredible this year on both sides, either in NXT or in TNA. Like, they are the future of this business. Like, guys know how I feel about black wrestlers and black wrestling, and they make me, they give me starry eyes. They like are the reason that I do this shit. Like, these kids are everything. So to see them get an opportunity on a gigantic show, like, everybody's going to be watching this. John Cena's last match. Both of these guys want to wrestle AJ Styles. They fucking came up watching this guy, idolizing him, seeing him in there against the both of them, and Dragon Lee's insane. This match is going to be really good.
Yeah, I was really excited when Leon Slater signed a contract with TNA, because I was like, more people are going to see how good he is. And so this is another opportunity for him to really showcase how great he is. I think that he and Myron had one of the best matches of the year for TNA. Javon has been lighting it up. So yeah, I'm really excited for those two guys. This is such a great opportunity for them. I'm really happy to see so much black talent showcased on this show. It's very funny seeing people find out that Sol Ruka was black, because people were hyping that up. Yes, Sol Ruka is black, guys.
Sol Ruka's black. Yes.
But yeah, very excited for this tag match. Like you said, I think this could be match of the night.
And seeing like young guys like Javon and Leon on the Cena card, with how much of a role Cena plays to that generation. There are people that don't know wrestling, and I sometimes talk to them about, and they know John Cena. Like, he represents what Hogan represented when we were children. Like, I tell people that I watch wrestling, and they'd be like, the thing with Hulk Hogan, that's exactly how it is with John Cena. Like, oh, the John Cena thing, like, he represents something different for them. So I know it's super important for them to open the show or be on the show with John Cena in his last match. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah. We've got a highly anticipated match, champion versus champion. Cody Rhodes will be taking on Obafemi. Of course, this was set up via deadline. The winner of Oba and Ricky Saints would get a chance to face Cody Rhodes. When that stipulation was initially announced, I was like, oh, Ricky's going to win. This is the way to get Ricky his match over here. And, you've got so much of a story here of, Ricky has talked about how much of a mentor Cody is for him. And then when I really thought about it, I was like, why did I think that? Because, that's kind of AEW lore. It's more of a priority to them to build up one of their homegrown guys in Oba. And I think Oba is more main event ready, and he's more main roster ready. And I keep saying it over and over again. They have more vested interests in Obafemi's success. So I think it made more sense for Oba to become a 2-time NXT champion and get the opportunity of a lifetime to face Cody Rhodes on a show where a lot of people are going to be watching because of John Cena. I kind of think he ended up in a better situation. I know some people wanted him to be in the tournament. I think this makes a lot more sense for him, the exhibition match, because I would have been more concerned that he was going to lose in that tournament. And so here, even if he loses, he's in a much better situation, in my opinion.
Losing to the current world champion, it's Cody Rhodes. Like, that has a lot attached to it. I think the way that his confidence on SmackDown last night, Phil, like, you could feel it. Like, you just like, oh, this guy's ready. The crowd's ready. The way that he's talking, like, it all feels like he should get all the things that people want him to get. I think putting him against Cody, I feel the same way as you. Like, if he was in the tournament, the Time Is Now tournament, and he somehow got to the main event with Cena and all that, it would have meant something, but I think he would have lost, and that loss against Cena would have been something different than this loss against Cody, the world champion, and he's essentially going to move up to that main roster, it feels like, off of this and all this. Like, I think this is going to mean a lot more for Oba moving forward. I mean, having John Cena's final match would have meant a lot as fucking John Cena, but like, this just feels a little different for what they want to do with Oba and how they're going to use him moving forward. Very important match. I think that Cody knows wrestling like the back of his hand, so he knows how important of a moment this is going to be for Oba and him on John Cena's last show. So this is big. Would you open with this, Phil? Open with the title match, or kind of put it before Cena?
I would put it right before. I put it second to last.
That makes sense.
I think Oba has been on a next level since he came back. He got bigger while he was away. This guy was already a massive, super heavyweight, and he looks incredible. His confidence is mile high at this point. That promo he cut, I think that was at Gold Rush, where he's just like, look, man, I appreciate you, Ricky. You had your time in the sun, but that time is over. I'm back. I'm here to beat you. I'm here to destroy you. Your daddy is home. And the reaction to him, I was like, oh, nah. This is a different level. Him getting that kind of reaction in the theater at Madison Square Garden to that promo, I was like, oh, yeah, he's out of here. Even if he loses, he's out of here, man.
Right.
And so him winning his title back, and then right afterwards he cut that promo backstage that was also fire, where he's like, look, man, Change is undefeated, man. Change showed up and asked Ricky to relinquish his title, and he had no choice but to acquiesce. When Change came for the dinosaurs, they sit down in meteors. When the Change came in the Old Testament, they sit the flood. When Change comes to the main roster for Cody Rhodes, he will lose. He will fall to the ruler. I was like, bro, this guy, if you just wanted to make him out to just be a big man wrestler, no, you're sorely mistaken. This guy can talk. He's got incredible presence. He's got confidence out of this world. This guy is out of here, bro. Like, you gotta mint this guy tonight. I think he should win. Like I said, I think he should win clean. I don't think this hurts Cody. I think you got a great chance to really do the same thing you did for Kevin Owens. I know a lot of people have already made that comparison because Kevin Owens and Cena, of course, had their champion versus champion match in 2015. Yep. And that was a big moment for Kevin Owens. I think you got the chance to do something like that with Oba as well. I think you got to pull the trigger on this guy. Even if he loses, even if he wins and just goes back to NXT for a little bit and comes back, man. Nah, man. I think you give him the win here. You make this guy feel like the next big thing. And I know, they're trying to make Braun into that as well. I think Oba should be at least 1B. If Braun is 1A, I think Oba should be 1B.
I think the one thing that you describe and the one thing that sends Oba over the top of people that have been in this position, I'm specifically speaking of black wrestlers like Bobby Lashley and Keith Lee and these things that I thought should have immediately be spent off. Oba Femi has showed me in the last 2 or 3 weeks that he can talk, dude. These promos he's had, I'm like, hey, yo, this is what's going to push him over the limit because he already has the look. We've seen him do some incredible things in the ring, the presence, but when he can talk too and really round it all out, Phil, that's when it's happening. And this guy, they're going to have to let him talk. Like, it's not just send him in there to fucking run people over. You got to let him put them bars on you first and then take it over the top. Like, this guy's special, Phil. Like, I thought even somebody who loves black wrestlers, I was like, maybe it's all hype. Like I've seen some gifs of him and I saw a lot, but then like over time within the last year, I'm like, oh, it's not all hype. Like this guy actually has all the tools, everything needed to be a dominant world champion and somebody that could connect with the kids, somebody that connect with the hardcores, somebody that fills every box. Oba fills every box. I'm with Phil Lindsey. I think he should beat Cody Rhodes tonight. I'd fucking have him put his foot on Cody Rhodes with his arm in the air, like the whole 9 yards. Like Cody's dead, and Oba is the one, the future of this. Like even if I think he could do well off of a loss too, but I think it might mean a little bit more if he gets the victory. So I'm going with him getting the victory tonight over Cody Rhodes and looking like a fucking world beater, man. He got it, Phil.
Yeah, his entrance last night on SmackDown, like, bro. Yeah, they got something in this guy. I didn't even realize it until I was like doing the research for the article that I did over the weekend. First NIL guy to win NXT championship. And I think that is another reason why I keep saying they've got vested interest to push this guy forward because he's their guy. He's their homegrown guy. If they want to really push home this idea that the NIL can produce stars, they've got to make this guy into like one of their biggest stars coming forward. And I think he's got all the makings, man. He passes the sight test. He can talk. He's got a great entrance. He has really like changed the way some people see big men wrestlers. He's they got something special in this guy, man. I don't think that like some people are like, oh, he's got to come to the main roster and win the Rumble and all this stuff immediately. I'm kind of worried because people are putting such high expectations on him right away, but a lot of hype is warranted.
I mean, we've seen others in his position get those things, Phil. That's why I think it's not out of the realm for that to happen, for him to come and start tearing fools down. I don't think it'll happen, and I don't honestly think it needs to happen. I think with the tools that he has, like a slow build, like we're gonna see this guy dominate eventually, and we know where the end goal is. I think it might benefit him more, but they gotta make him a guy though, Phil. They can't just bring him on. Sometimes they do that thing where they debut somebody from the main roster and then they just kind of swim in the middle or swim in the beginning or main event, the show main event or that. No, they got to make it feel like at any opportunity, if he turns the corner, he could be world champion or he's one of the next guys up because he has all those tools for that.
Yeah, I think there's something to like the way people are responding to his eventual call up. Like, we haven't seen people respond this way to a call up in a long time. I think like when the black and gold era was rocking and we were getting those call ups, people were excited. And, you know, we've gotten so many, you know, diminishing returns from NXT call ups that it hasn't had the same value for some people, but Oba's different, man. People are excited for this guy. And I think you've got to run with that.
Tonight, it's a big opportunity, man. Again, just like I was saying about Soul, the most eyes that Oba's ever seen are going to be on him tonight. It's John Cena. It's Cody Rhodes. The match is important too, I guess, Phil, too. Like, I guess we're kind of skipping over that. You put out a good quality match with Cody Rhodes, who we know, given the opportunity, can do that. That's going to mean a lot too. If people have, because this will be some people's first opportunity to see Oba, and if he comes out here and he looks badass against Cody, that's going to mean a lot.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried that we're going to get a screwy finish. I don't think they should do that, but I would not be shocked at all if that happens. Yeah, I don't know.
I understand because it's how many times have we seen, besides like the Kevin Owens stuff, NXT champion with a clean dominant win over the world champion? That's rare, brother.
We haven't seen them really go all in on an NXT champion in a long time, probably since Finn Balor.
Yeah, so if they did it, it would make sense because it is their guy, and like you said, that we've seen him from the beginning, from NIL, like we've seen his whole career, and so it would make sense to push your guys like that. But it's just so rare that I'm not expecting it, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's going to be a good match. I think it's a great opportunity for Oba. But yeah, I think Oba should win. And I'm a bit worried that if Oba does not win, we're going to see a lot of people very upset online.
This isn't the end all be all, right? Like,
no.
Is that? I guess my question is there a way that they could screw this up?
Yes, there's always a way. But yeah, but that's
Cody squashes him instead.
Yo. Cody beats this guy clean, and that's just it. That's gonna be a lot of people are not gonna be happy. But yeah, that what you're saying, people acting like it's all or nothing, that's what I'm worried about. That people's expectations are way, way too high.
They are. Because we still need to see him develop. Like he's done everything he needs to do in NXT, but we still need to see him as a main roster superstar. How's he going to take to all that? We still need to see the steps, and I don't want people to miss the steps because he does have it, but he still needs to go through the steps. Because, like you said, he's NIL. He's not an independent wrestler. There's still a lot he needs to learn. You know?
Yeah. I think if something happens like Cody narrowly wins, like he narrowly escapes Oba, I think that you can tell that story well. But I think for some people, they don't even want to broach the idea of Cody winning. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they pull this off.
Because it is John Cena's last show. They could go the John Cena debut route with Kurt Angle, and because John Cena lost that match, but if he comes in, slaps Cody, puts up a really good contest, and in the end, like you said, Cody narrowly escapes, and it makes it look like Oba was just about to win, I think that'll still mean a lot, and it'll pay tribute to John Cena. So there's ways to do this.
Yeah. Harlot, I do think there's a good chance we could see Ricky or Drew interfere, especially because Ricky just turned heel. I do think there's a very good chance we could see that. And I could see Ricky looking at it like, nah, I took care of him, Cody. Look. Nah, get the pin. And Cody's not going to be happy with that at all. I think there's interesting stuff you can do with that, but boy, people are not going to be happy.
I'm kind of on your side. I think it might be a little bit too much AEW lore. Like, I think they can tell the story, and they probably will, but like right now it just feels like AEW lore.
But yeah, it's like I could see it both ways. Because they did take the picture backstage,
right? And
there is stuff you could pay off with that, but for my personal taste, I think Oba should just beat him clean.
It doesn't need any interference. It doesn't need that. They could still tell these stories beyond that. But yeah, I think that's a cool story too of Ricky. If they did do it, Ricky being like, we took this picture. I thought I was going to have my moment against Cody in the ring. Like, there's some story to be told there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, like I said, that is a good story. And just the idea of Cody narrowly escaping and beating Oba with the help of Ricky, and the whole time Ricky is like giddy, like, yeah, we got him, and Cody's looking around like, nah, that guy, I'm afraid of having to face that guy again. I think there's
barely got him.
Yeah. Of course, main event, John Cena taking on the winner of the last time is now tournament, Gunther, in a retirement match. We know it's a tradition for somebody going out to go out on their back. And so logically, you would think John Cena is going to lose here. But I think with the way that they're building this match, that John's going to win. Especially with everything Gunther's saying, I'm going to be the one that forces you to give up. And with the way that this farewell tour has been handled, I don't think anybody wants to see John Cena tap out and give up at this point. I think that's going to be such a downer way to end this show.
Yeah, you can't.
And it's in Washington, D.C. I just keep going back to that, and like how I just don't see it. I just don't see them ending this show like that of Cena tapping out. I don't see it, man. Now, personally, for Gunther, as a big Gunther fan, I would love it, but I just don't think that. I don't think that that's where we're going. I think that Cena is going to tell this story throughout this match of him being tenacious and having resolve all the way to the end and ending this night beating Gunther. I think there's good things you could do with Gunther coming out of this. Sure, if he loses, but I don't know, man. Just everything about this farewell tour has been bizarro world. And it just something about it's just telling me that Gunther's losing. I believe my bookie has Cena as the favorite going into this match.
I can't see John Cena tapping out in front of Vince McMahon and Donald Trump live. I just can't see it, Phil. There's no way that the president of the United States
is hilarious, bro.
The president of the United States and the former owner of the WWE front row watching a show. I just can't see him tapping out under those circumstances. I think Sting spoiled us / unlocked something in wrestling retirements, because now historically we've all seen guys go out on their back. We've all seen them kind of be like, that's it, waving with their boots in the middle of the ring. But Sting getting that run and getting that final, like, no, I won on my final match. I won my hand raised high on my last match. I think that could maybe play a role in what we see here, just because with what this story was told throughout the year and the heel turn and the twists and turns that we had, I think you need a last win, Phil. Like there was too many disappointing or head scratching moments this year that you just need to stick the landing and just send everybody home happy. John Cena wins and we all slap hands, I think, because you just don't want to taint the rest of this last retirement run anymore. Like you can't have any more misses, anything that people latch onto. So you go out there, you have him beat the foreign heel that he's been doing for his entire career, and his hands raised high at the end. I feel like that can be the only way to do it, especially if he's main eventing. If they were going to go with he's opening the show, I could have believed there's some space where he loses, but ending the show with him at the end feels like the way to do it with him with the win.
Yeah. To go back to my Kobe comparison, this feels like Kobe going out on 60-point game.
Yes,
like, yeah, it's
exactly.
flawed. The farewell tour is very flawed, but getting to see Kobe be Kobe one last time is the thing that people remember. And I think people are going to come away from this wanting to see John Cena be John Cena one last time and be the guy that represents, perseverance and never giving up. They don't want to see him tap out to Gunther. And the other reason why I don't think Gunther is going to win is because I don't think you're possibly going to get a better passing the torch moment than the SummerSlam match. That stuff with Cody and Cody giving him the salute before he beats him, you're not going to get better than that. I think you've already got the passing the torch moment this year. I think this is probably Cena going out on top.
And like passing the torch to a heel as the last thing just doesn't really work for. There's going to be little kids in the crowd crying and saluting and shit, and then it's Gunther. It feels like the way to do it is John Cena's at the end giving it up, slapping hands. I think you're right. Like they already told the good passing of the torch moment. Now it's let's give Cena his big send off that he deserves.
Yeah, like I just can't imagine him actually tapping out and then getting up and shaking Gunther's hand and like bowing to him. I just don't see that happening, man. I absolutely think he's going to beat Gunther here. And like everything Gunther is saying here is to get us to want Cena to win. Like I just don't.
Right.
And maybe this is a swerve. Maybe it's they're doing all this to get us to want to root for John Cena one last time. And he just can't get over the hump. But even with the story that you've told all year, the thing that caused him to turn heel is that he was losing all of those matches and he felt like he had no choice but to sell his soul and sell out. Nah, you gotta at least cap that off in some way. I don't see this all leading to I can't win a match and then my last match ever is losing to Gunther. And like there's so much stuff around it, like his dad coming out and saying, I don't want him to lose to Gunther. I don't think it makes sense for him to lose. I think a lot of these people are saying that for a reason. I just don't think Gunther's winning, guys.
That'd be a great story for the kids, huh, Phil? His whole career has been never give up, don't quit, and then his last match he just quits. That would not look good at all. People would go home so angry. So yeah, I think there's a way to do this. I mean, it's the fact that it's on Peacock Saturday night's main event. Like, I thought this was going to be a WrestleMania thing. Like, I think if you get John Cena, like WrestleMania would be the end, but an interesting journey to get here.
Yeah, I mean, like, bro, Zeno Hour. If Gunther makes him tap out, I'm gonna cackle while watching it. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just it feels like this is gonna be Cena winning and getting his last send off.
Yeah. Feels like the best story. I can't, like you said, him tapping and then getting up and shaking hands with Gunther, patting him on the back as he walks out to cheers. That just WWE hasn't told stories like that, and I don't feel like with John Cena, that's the last story they want to tell with him.
No, we're getting Rocky 4. He is going to somehow beat Gunther, and he's going to give the I can change, you can change, we all can change.
We about to see American flags waving. Like, it's about to be a time out there. You know exactly what in DC, Phil? In DC?
Bro. Yeah, I don't see it. And if your commander in chief is front and center, yeah, I don't see that happening in front of him.
Oh my god, dude! If that happens, like if Vince and Trump are there, and oh my god, Cena beats Gunther, the foreign heel, to win.
Well, if you would have asked me this a few years ago, I would think it would be outlandish to predict that there's a better chance that Trump will be in the building than Vince McMahon. Where I don't think we'll see Vince McMahon in the building for another WWE show. Like, I just don't see it, man. And I do think there's a very good chance we could see Trump though.
Vince, Trump, yeah, it's crazy. I never thought we would get here.
I do think there's a very good chance we could see him. I think that, yeah.
Oh, that makes my stomach hurt.
Yeah. Tell you, man. We love Cena. Very good wrestler. Love his matches. Love how he comes out. Gives the salute to Stu. Stu's a good guy. Really good guy.
Stu. How did Stu get in this?
We love Stu.
Oh man. Yeah. Tonight could be kind of a sicko night if he's there and they're like embracing him. It's gonna be nasty as hell, man.
You know it's coming, bro. Like if it's not here, listen, Donald Trump will be at a WWE show eventually. It's inevitable, bro. I'm telling you.
Especially if, like we were talking about earlier, if Paramount goes through and they get the deal with Netflix, like whoosh, it's inevitable. Like, it's crossovers, all kind of things going on. We're doomed.
Yeah. But see, oh man, that could go very badly for them. Can you imagine if they want this like great atmosphere for John Cena, him getting cheered on the way out, and they cut to Trump waving at a crowd, and you just get a chorus of boos? Ooh.
Do you want to take that chance?
I don't think you should, but I wouldn't be surprised. Ooh.
I mean, remember when they were running those videos like during SummerSlam and all that, and people
he got booed when he was at that when he was at the Commanders game recently. He got booed very loudly too. Yeah, I don't think you should take that chance of him being in the building.
I mean, but we're about headlines and news stories, Phil, and Trump being at Cena's last match is a headline and a news story.
Yeah, cut over there, and he's sitting next to Logan Paul.
Just makes my stomach hurt. That's it. That's all. I'm like, fuck, I'll never get away from this.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, all things considered, this looks like a very good card.
It does.
Boy, that would be a big downer. nobody wants to see Trump. But this looks like a very good card, all things considered, man. Like I said, very much love that we're getting to see young, exciting Black talent showcased on this card. Hopefully this isn't the last time that we see a lot of these names. I gotta assume the names that they picked here from NXT is because they are very much invested in them. So we'll see how this pans out.
I mean, Leon don't even work here, essentially. You know what I mean? You know how crazy that is? Like, he's not he's not an NXT guy against he's a TNA guy from a different company. That's how fucking lit he is. That's how talented, and that's why the future is about these kids. Like, that's how good these kids are, man. It's exciting.
What's the over under of Credit Boy opening the show?
I would bet everything in my apartment, my car, all the weed I've ever smoked, anything that you want of Righteous Reg, that he's the first face we see open the show. There's no way he isn't. If he's not, that'd be the most surprising thing I ever seen in the history of my life, Phil.
We haven't seen him present for most of these Saturday Night Main events. Yeah, I definitely think we're going to see Credit Boy opening the show. Maybe that's the way we get Trump. Maybe he shows Trump at the beginning and then we get it out the way.
Getting it out the way is insane. Let's get it out the way. But yeah, no, I hear you though.
Yeah.
At least the voiceover. He's gonna have something's gonna be here, you guys. It's not just we're not gonna watch this show and not be acknowledged by the God.
Yeah, we probably will definitely see Triple H before the night is over.
Stinky. Very stinky. Hate him.
Send us in your super chats. That is the best way to get your chats read on this podcast. You can also send us Humper Chats at humperchats.com/Fightful.
And yeah, I'm going to be on, you guys have seen, with Denise later for the watch along. If you guys want to see me in my pain and misery talking about that show on her channel, should be fun. The homie Joseph Molina, we were talking about Booker T earlier. So he sent in a super chat that just says flapjacks.
Yeah. Yeah. Flipping and spinning, baby. Nah, bro. End the show with Jericho. Orion Ben, that is hilarious, bro.
Whoa, Orion Ben, why?
End the show with Jericho is hilarious.
I guess we didn't get into that aspect, Phil, because they did release a little thing that it's going to be star-studded. There'll be some surprises. There's going to be some extra thing. What do you think? What does a surprise mean in a John Cena retirement show?
I think we're going to see Punk. We'll probably see some other wrestlers, but bro, the idea of this show ending with John Cena giving it up, waving, and he gets hit with a Judas effect, and Jericho's just standing over him with one foot on his chest. God. Come on, baby!
That would make Jericho the happiest person of all time. He gets to shit on John Cena's last moment. Like, that sounds like something that's right up his alley. I don't know.
Come on, baby!
I mean, again, wouldn't be the craziest thing if I saw CJ on the show tonight. That's how wild life is.
Bro. Max said David is talking front row. Damn,
oh my
David front row would be hilarious, bro.
Right after his match is over, Dave's like, I could beat his ass now. No, he ain't getting no more. I was gonna say WWE comp tickets, but they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get some wrestlers waving front row though.
Totally.
Probably some familiar faces from John Cena's career.
Orton. Who else? Those guys. The homie Dan Jackson says, agreed with Phil on Kobe and Cena comparison. I dislike them, but they grew on me. Cena retirement, and we get more black people spotlighted.
Yeah.
I do like how it's all like every match besides the main event, features a black person, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Ain't that something? Shout out to Cena for that. The homie Busby says Oba needs to be on SmackDown and rule it the same way Walter ruled Raw. With SmackDown going 3 hours, this could help.
Yeah, I think Oba as like one of the big champions on either SmackDown or Raw, I think would be great. I think SmackDown needs him a lot more than Raw does. It feels like Raw has all of the big stars. They're even bringing like the biggest stars from SmackDown to Raw now. Like SmackDown needs something, man. Like it's been rough sledding for SmackDown for a few weeks.
Yeah, I'd probably put, especially what Busby's talking about here, them going back to 3 hours, put them over there with Cody. And if you don't want to, like you brought up earlier, Phil, the Braun Breakers thing's always going to sit there. If you don't want to muddy them up, having them on the same side, put them on SmackDown.
Yeah. Yeah. Not looking forward to 3 hours, though.
It's a fucking chore, brother. The homie Eloquent says, just remember Angle passed the torch to Corbin. Yeah. Fuck, dog.
Oh, man. I could see Angle being in the crowd tonight.
And they forced him to do it, Eloquent. That's the worst part. Like, he was like, I don't want to do this. I'm not interested in this. And they're like, get your ass out there.
Bro, Angle been telling us ever since that match, that's not how I wanted to go out.
Angle can't wait to bring it up. He's like, nah, that was not my choice, you guys.
Yeah.
And he's right. Because, like, what?
Yeah. Chad Gable's right there. Yeah, so many other options. Like,
what? Hella crazy. Appreciate you, Eloquent. And check out Eloquent's house EP on Eloquent's Bandcamp. The homie Will Chisholm says Oba face off with Cody gave me a Mania main event feel. That man Oba is the truth.
Oba is definitely a future WrestleMania main eventer. And if they don't see him that way, boy, I don't know why. Because this guy, he should be earmarked as the next guy.
I think going along with what you're saying about him being one of the best or one of the most anticipated call-ups in NXT in a long time, he feels like a main eventer. Like he feels like a big time. Like he would have wrestled Hulk Hogan back. Like he feels like the guy. Like you're gonna see him in main events. He's gonna be world champion. Like he feels like that more than 90% of the guys I could say that have been called up in the last 5 years. Like he feels like slot him in right now. We're good. We're moving forward.
He feels like a can't miss talent, man. He feels like a layup, and that's why I'm very worried, man. Because if they fumble this, man, I just don't know how.
I know how.
I mean, well, yeah, yeah.
But this is the most this will be the most glaring time, though. I think, Phil. Like, there's been some word, there's been some talk, there's been some slander laid on people's names. But if this is screwed up, then it's real. Like there's no way to get around this one.
You can't make excuses for this one. You can't.
That's all of our super chats. Appreciate y'all.
Mikey V says, Paul got to eat those vegetables, man.
He just got to. Maybe that'll be his New Year's resolution. Start eating more veggies.
You know, Steph, I saw this Righteous Reg guy. He said vegetables are the way to go. So I think we got to start eating more broccoli.
This Righteous Reg guy. I'm the reason that him and Stephanie and the kids are eating veggies now. Shout out to me.
Seeing the world totally differently now. Vegetables.
It's a lot more bright outside, Stephanie. Oh, shout out to Credit Boy. What a guy.
Somebody quoted a bit that I forgot that I said. And I was like, wait, that's actually really funny. They were like,
I love it.
I forgot I said this, but they were like, yeah, Yeah, I died laughing when you guys were making fun of him getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. And he's like, yeah, I might know a guy. Me.
Mia. No, us
Fucking
talking
hella
about
funny,
Triple
though.
H and the Hall of Fame bit is one of the best.
Funny times, man. We got week 3 of the Continental Classic. Kazuchika Okada took on Jack Perry to open the show. Jack Perry, of course, is taking Darby's spot in the Continental Classic. If you have not seen already, Darby Allin unfortunately had to vacate a spot because he's not cleared to wrestle. Hopefully Darby is back soon. Quick recovery to him. But man, I just keep thinking it every time we see this guy in the ring now as a babyface. I'm like, nah. Jack is a babyface is different, bro. He looked great in there. Just this style of wrestling, like I don't need to see him doing the methodical stuff ever again, bro. I'm good.
Yeah, honestly, every time I watch Jack Perry recently, I'm like, damn, we were robbed for that year and a half, whatever that time was that he was floundering around as the scapegoat and moving around in that truck. I'm like, babyface Jack Perry, though, just hits so hard. And like you're saying, Phil, when he starts going 1,000 miles per hour, when he starts getting the crowd behind him and leveling up, like that's the Jack Perry we love. Like his hair swinging, he's flipping, he's spinning. Like he really represents something. You need pure baby faces, and Jack Perry, when he's in this moment, is a pure baby face. Like the shit in the 80s, this guy would have been a top star around the world. Like he's that type of style. And I mean, anytime you have a dance partner with Okada, things are a little bit easier, and that's what this match was. Another matchup, Okada showing that he waits for the moment, he figures out your weakness, and then he immediately capitalizes on it. Like he's maybe, this tournament shows that Okada's maybe like the smartest wrestler that there is. He just always figures out the spots, and it really works well in this tournament.
Yeah, I thought Jack wrestled very well. Commentary kept putting over that this is Jack's first singles match in a long time. And I thought he looked great here. I thought his counters were great. There were a few counters in this match that both him and Okada, they looked incredible in there. Okada's been really locked in for the second half of this year. He's been having some great matches. Of course, the most talked about moment in the match was, going an eye for Okada. Okada bit Jack Perry's hand to get out of what is his big submission hold called? Jack's the snare trap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So to get out of snare trap, he bit his hand, and so Jack Perry in the middle of a pile driver bites Okada's cock out of nowhere. I was like, oh, what? All right, that's where we're at.
Yep. That's a reversal you don't see too often, but listen, wrestling is wrestling, Phil. You got to get out of there.
As outrageous as the moment was, and it became like clipped and all over social media, the thing that I liked about it is it wasn't just like, okay, he just did that out of nowhere. It was a response to Okada biting his hand earlier. So right. There was reasoning for it. I like that bit of it. Okada kind of narrowly won this thing at the end. I know at one point Jack looked like he seriously hurt his ankle on a dive, and that was favoring him throughout the match. And that became the story after the match. I know Meltzer or Alvarez reported that he thought he was really hurt. Seems like he's okay. So fingers crossed. That's the last thing we need is the replacement, somebody else getting injured, coming in and getting hurt too. But yeah, I thought that this was a really, really good match. I thought it was a great way to open this week's Continental Classic matches. But of course, match of the tournament so far. Speedball Mike Bailey versus Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher hasn't really missed in this tournament yet. I love the commentary put over the fact that he led all competitors last year in points, and this year he went up one up that by going undefeated and getting 15 points. And so you could tell that was the motive throughout this match. as great as Speedball looked, Speedball came in with urgency, trying to get his first points on the board because he did not want to start 0-2. But Kyle Fletcher came in with the same urgency because he really wanted to go undefeated. And so much so, when he did lose this match, what a massive upset. He looked like devastated, like, I can't believe I really lost this guy.
Yeah, coming in with that amount of confidence and feeling like this is your tournament to lose has really helped Kyle Fletcher. I think the matches leading into this, the Okada match, the Kevin Knight match, he looked like, this is mine. I'm fucking people up. All my strikes are precise. Like, there's nothing that anybody could do to stop me. Getting into this match with another guy who got crazy strikes, like, I like that this match utilized a lot of what makes Mike Bailey. And so Kyle has been coming in here having these epic kind of matches. They're back and forth, but he always knows he always goes the extra mile. That's how it is. Like, there's something that clicks in Kyle Fletcher's brain when the match is going on where he's like, well, fuck it, I'm just going to kill this guy. And like, that's what there was a couple of moments in here where he's like, top rope brain buster, I'm just going to kill this fool because nothing else that I'm doing is working. Mike Bailey is a kind of a fight from behind wrestler and to kind of rally the crowd with him, pick his spots. Then when he starts striking crazy, it's all over. But I think the best part about what's been happening with Mike Bailey and with Kevin Knight is they immediately threw him into a tag team with each other. So a lot of the stuff that we see with them as singles, they held off. They kept it for big moments like this. And I think there were some spots that we see Mike Bailey do coming into AEW, but we didn't see as often with him being in the tag team. So we got to bust it out. And here you got to see like the Ultimate Weapon. You got to see some, the Flamingo Drive. You got to see some extra things that hadn't been done in a tag match. And it really emphasized here. Kyle was incredible on defense. His bumping all year has been incredible, but in this tournament, he's on fire. Like, he just really understands little things. That's why Kyle's going to start. He's starting to overpass everybody in his class because he's starting to understand the little things. He already had the big strikes, the big moves, kind of knowing when to react. But now it's like he knows his placement. He knows when to go outside. He knows when to kick. He knows when to take a kick. Like, all of the things just add on to the match. This, when they got to the end, Phil, and they were trading things back and forth, going here, for Mike Bailey to get into the finish, just fucking tremendous work. This was a star-making performance from an already star-made person in Speedball Mike Bailey, and Kyle Fletcher has shown that he could be world champion tonight. Like, there isn't even, we keep talking about the future, just like with Javon and Leon. It's like, there is no future. We're not talking about a year from now. We're not talking about 2 years from now. We're talking about right fucking now, and that's where Kyle Fletcher is.
Yeah, Kyle's ready. I know that was the storyline going into the world title match earlier this year of Hangman telling him he wasn't ready. And I definitely noticed in this match, he's still making the same mistake that he made in that match. He still will get to spots in the match where he gets so offended at the idea of this guy being in there with him. It's not just, I want to beat you, I want to hurt you.
Yes.
And so when he got him outside and he dropped his back on the barricade and it looked disgusting, and the camera came back and we see that big huge whelp on Speedball's back, I was like, oh my God. And then he continued to put the pressure on him. Somehow Speedball survived through all of that, hit the Ultimate Weapon on the apron that looked crazy. He took everything that this guy had to throw at him, and he still kept going. Kyle Fletcher took the Ultimate Weapon, took the Time Adventure. Usually when he hits that, it's over. Yeah, he took all of Speedball's big moves and kept coming. It became who's going to blink first towards the end of this match, and I thought that was great. The way that Speedball ended up countering and using the big penny predicament to win, I thought that was awesome. And man, Speedball's needed this, to be honest.
Yeah.
As much as I've enjoyed Jet Speed as a tag team, I do think people forgot just how good Speedball is as a singles wrestler. He had a really good match earlier this year with Kenny Omega, triple threat match, and he was kind of like Best Bout Machine 2.0 as an indie wrestler at one point. Everywhere he was going, he was giving people their best matches in TNA, at Maple Leaf Pro. Everywhere this guy went, he was having incredible matches with a different array of opponents. And this felt like more of this. This felt like reminding people why Speedball got signed, why people wanted to see him in this company, why people wanted to see him in this tournament. And this was incredible, start to finish, jam-packed action, big moves, great falsies, easily match of the tournament so far.
Yeah, before Speedball came into AEW, I watched like 10 live shows where he was on, and all 10 of them he was the match of the night. Like not even a competition. Like it was like, oh, Speedball Mike Bailey has a match. They're probably going to have the best match of the night. And that's what happened so many times. So to see it on the highest level here on Dynamite against the future of the business, the future of this company, future world champion, was incredible, because Mike could do this against every wrestler in the company. Like he's that good. Like we've seen just an inkling of what can really be done when Speedball gives it up. And this match was exactly what we're going to see. We could see more of if Speedball's given more big main event matches. This is the match of the tournament so far. This was exactly what the Continental Classic is about. Just two wrestlers fighting against the time limit, fighting against losing records or winning records, and trying to be the best wrestler in AEW. This was everything you could like about AEW.
Yeah. We've got an Okada match coming up for Speedball as well. Can't wait to see that.
Last time.
That's going to be a big one. Can't wait to see that match. But yeah, we've got two big Continental Classic matches within the hour, because as we said earlier, Collision will be coming on earlier. It'll be coming on 4:30 Eastern time.
That's right.
So tonight we've got Claudio Castagnoli taking on Konosuke Takeshita. That should be heat. And then, of course, we got Speedball Mike Bailey taking on his tag team partner, Kevin Knight.
That's tonight? That's today?
That's tonight.
Oh, shit. Today. That's going to be fucking crazy. Both these guys have had tremendous tournaments coming into this. To see the Jet Speed guys go one-on-one is going to be awesome. Did you see the main event of Collision last week? Jon Moxley and Takeshita. That shit was fire.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. You hadn't seen it first, and I was like, "Yo, this was everything we wanted it to be." Because I remember I was hyping up how good this match was and how good Ricochet versus Ace Austin was. I thought last week's Collision was fire.
Assured, confirmed. I watched Collision, and everything that Phil says was fire was fucking fire. That Ace Austin and Ricochet shit was heat. Dorada and Claudio, they did some shit that like how do you do that? Like what? I don't know. Wrestling could do that. And then the main event, like Moxley has been insane this whole year, but like performances like this are like, this is why this guy's just a class above everybody else, and why he's so important to not only this tournament, but this company.
Yeah, we also got Swerve versus Josh Alexander tonight. That should be great as well.
That's right.
Very much looking forward to that. Should be a great Collision. Like I said, coming to us within an hour and a half.
It's overseas too, so you know the crowd's going to be crazy.
Yeah. I thought also not only was this match of the tournament, but I thought the Atlanta crowd throughout Winter's Coming was really great. I thought that they were great during this match. I thought they were great during the main event. They really added to the show on Wednesday. Yeah,
shout out to Atlanta being an excited, ready for everything, participating crowd. Like that changed how good the Mike Bailey and Kyle Fletcher match was. Like the match was incredible, but the fact that the crowd was hanging on to every spot, every near fall, everything attached to the match made it even better. Yeah, big shout outs to the homies in Atlanta. That was awesome.
Yeah. Very strong tournament so far. Love this time of year. Straightforward matches, and you got some of the best wrestlers in the world going head to head. It's Continental Classic is the easy one for me, man. Just give me the matches, man. Like, and so far matches have been fantastic.
They've been so good. They've been better because when this match happened on Wednesday, immediately after, Denise was like, "That's the best match of the Continental Classic," and I was like, "Is it?" Because I had to go through, but like looking back now, it is. It totally is. Yeah, it's people are just leveling up. People are getting better with time, and this match is just incredible. Shout out to Speedball. Shout out to Kyle Fletcher. Like they did it.
Yeah. I'm sure Takeshita versus Claudio today is going to be insane. Very much looking forward to that. Very much forward to looking forward to Kevin Knight versus Speedball as well. I believe they had a match in the Best of Super Juniors a few years ago. Very much looking forward to seeing like how much that they've improved and grown since then. I think Kevin has been fantastic in the tournament so far. So Got to bring a lot to beat Speedball after that match from Wednesday.
Hell yeah, these guys are about to be going 500 miles per hour tonight. It's going to be so good.
Yeah. Last call for super chats and humper chats so we can get out of here. Watch this collision. The best way to get your chat read on this show, sending us a super chat, and also send us a humper chat. humperchats.com/Fightful.
I think we got one from the homie Steven Marcusili who says, will the final boss resurface? I think he's talking about The Rock possibly being a part of John Cena's farewell tour. That makes sense, doesn't it, Phil?
No, it doesn't. I can't imagine Cena answering that question, who cares? And then we see The Rock after that. That would be ridiculous.
Who cares? Why do you care about what The Rock did? And then The Rock shows up. But he does play a pretty inaugural role in Cena's history. Like, it would make sense for him to be there.
Yeah. But I just don't see any good that can come of this because I feel like if they do it, it's going to be one of those things like Rock just comes out and raises his arm or something, and nobody wants to see that.
Nah, no. It's not meaningful.
Especially after this year. Yeah, and you didn't pay off any of the stuff from earlier, and he just shows up now when Cena's gone. That would be a big letdown.
Stay at home, Dwayne.
Yeah, I know people are going to try to do their speculation about, look, this all means something. Please don't.
All right, it doesn't. That's all of our super chats. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, he's promoting his movie as well. Previous movie just got nominated for a Golden Globe. He's still doing his award season stuff. I think he starts filming the Scorsese movie soon as well.
He's busy.
I don't think we'll see the Rock anytime soon. We'll probably see him in the build to Saudi Mania, if I had to guess.
So not tonight.
That all of our super chats?
That's everything.
I don't think we have any more humper chats, but I just want to double check. That's all of our humper chats. Appreciate you guys as always. Very busy night of wrestling. Like I said, we got Collision coming up within the next hour and a half. Then we have a Saturday night main event tonight. We will be back next Saturday. I think Saturday is our last episode of the year. Last episode of 2025.
Damn.
And yeah, we'll probably be back to review World's End before 2026. But that'll be our last proper episode of Grapsody next week, December 20th.
2025 is up out of here, man. What the hell happened? That's crazy.
Yeah. It's wild that it's been kind of a long year, but it's also seemed like it's flown by as well.
It's been both, for sure.
It's crazy. Yeah, a lot of finality. Some people in our chat were saying very last episode of My Hero Academia was today. End of an era. End of an era with John Cena tonight.
Wow.
The last episode of Bel Air was this week. They dumped all the episodes on us. Like, I was like, wait, they're already all up on Peacock? Why are they rushing us out of here?
They're trying to get that off the platform. I know what that is. Get these out. We're done here.
You would think this is probably the most successful Peacock original show, that they would have handled this a bit better, but they rushed this thing out, and they spoiled one of the best moments of the season, probably the best moment of the series immediately for people. I'm glad I saw it. I mean, yeah. What a great show.
People did that though. Like you didn't even give people an opportunity to watch it before being like, "Look at this! What happened?"
Yeah, I hated that too. What a great moment. Yeah, what a legend. I don't want to spoil it, but what a legend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this has been Grapsody. Appreciate you guys for pulling up as always. I'm Phil Lindsey, Righteous Reg. We'll be back next week. I think we're leaving. Wait, we're out.